folks. It's Jim and Sam on the Morning Jam.
Do you know how tempting it is to do 4 hours of Chip?
Just do the whole show
As Chip.
Lyle Chipperson.
It is so tempting just to completely alienate the audience.
I wish we could do Lyle and Mars in the morning. The new show for the virus is Lyle and Mars in the morning.
Yeah. Opie and Anthony were killed in a boating accident. So sorry, this is who took over. Lyle and Mars.
Yeah.
Well, we know they have court today because they're being sued on small claims court.
This is not a replay, by the way. This
Yes.
is not...
Yes. An ex-model who used to appear on the show is suing them for, I guess, a small amount of money.
Ex-model.
Ex-model, yes.
I don't know if I would use those terms.
So we have Danny, Sam, myself, and Travis to give you more. I don't know if I'm going to stay the whole time because I'm flying today.
Yeah.
I thought Opie was going to be here at 6. So that's why I came in at 6. But if I knew he wasn't going to be here, believe me, I'm not being fucking Dan dedicated. I would have stayed home.
So you found out at 6 that he wasn't going to be here at 6?
I found out on my phone rang at 5:30, and fucking Dracula told me, no, he's not coming in until later. I'm like, I'm already up.
He still, by the way, doesn't want... Remember last time they were dragged to court, Sandy Kane didn't show up, obviously, and so it was just a waste of time for everybody. And then I think her excuse was something like, well, they didn't give me the right date.
Right.
And so now they have to go back. Although we probably shouldn't talk too much about it because Club Soda Kenny already reprimanded me for bringing it up on the after show yesterday. He doesn't want this addressed on the air, this high-profile case.
Oh, he's afraid that the details are going to be used by the opposing counsel.
Right, and I tried to explain to him that even worst-case scenario, and Opie and Anthony lose the case, what difference does it make? It's not it's not like a high-profile...
Right, this is not a multi-million-dollar...
And I don't think Sandy Kane has attorneys monitoring the show to make sure that, since she didn't even show up last time, she's probably...
All that talk last time and she didn't even make it in.
Yeah,
She's not even monitoring her alarm clock.
Yeah.
Hey, what's that noise, man? She doesn't know what it is. I get to explain it. The thing that bugs me is they should have had... I felt like this should have been... I wish these guys had a publicist because to me that last fucking... all the stuff, YouTube clips that were showing...
Yeah.
Are so funny. Those, the fucking shit in the hat and all that stuff.
Because it's just like, they can't be sued for it, but they didn't do anything good.
Right.
Although, like we said before, the videos, not only are they hilarious, but they make Sandy Kane look horrible, because in every video, she's coming back for another one. Like, she keeps coming back, and like you said, the moment that you offered her $100 to put the hat on, and she did it.
Yeah.
Like, instantly, $100.
I think that would have been very funny to have out there, like, and I also think it exonerates them. Like, look, this is the nature of what they're doing, and it would have been funny to have the media talking about.
Yeah, even just
things
getting
on that.
Even just getting the case out there, the fact that Sandy Kane, the naked cowgirl, is suing anybody, let alone a couple of shock jocks like Opie and Anthony. It should be all over, at least the Daily News and stuff like that.
Because it was funny stuff. When we watched those clips, I'm like, that's hilarious. Like, just to have that stuff in the paper.
Yeah.
How do they print that? Like, Johnny Fairplay did what? Their hat? Did she put it on?
And then Anthony taking it to the gun range. They would have to report on exactly what the complaints were, that there were bullet holes in her hat because she left it in.
Her genital wart was painted, and then someone put it in their mouth.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about this.
Yeah, that was the great moment in the show's history.
They have to explain twatto in the newspaper article.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess there'll be a court. We probably won't hear an update from them until tomorrow.
No.
I'm sure. But Kenny's still here, and we'll be here for a couple hours anyway.
Yeah, he's trying to switch my seat on a flight. I have to leave. So
sit and coach instead of first?
No.
No, never.
No. If I paid for it, I probably would, but it's a contract thing. They just give you first, but it's anyone they're flying out for this, they would give first to.
Yeah.
I don't feel like hot shit because they do it. It's like a contractual thing where anybody who's appearing on the show or whatever, they'll put in first. So I can't feel too good about it.
It's nice, though.
I love it, but I don't think it's because of me.
I think it is.
I know. I'd like to believe that.
They value you, Jim. I mean, it's a Tonight Show, and even if you don't feel valued because they don't put you in first class, you're on like once a week at this point.
If they put Bobo, if Bobo was doing a segment, he would be in the seat next to me. Yeah, absolutely. It's what they do for every person that goes out and does that.
We should then suggest that Bobo do a segment with you on the Tonight Show, just so you have to ride in first class with him next to you the entire way.
I get mad at them sometimes. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And I'm like, oh, autism. That's what's wrong with you.
That's it. Yeah.
All right.
There we go. Figured it out.
That's a fair problem to have. If you have autism, I can kind of understand.
Why you're...
I hate talking this early in the morning. I'm used to not being productive until about 7 o'clock. This is my time. I'm cutting into.
You're not used to having to like get the conversation moving or like Well, then I guess Danny and me will do a show, and you'll just kind of chime in where you see fit.
I just think that Chip should do it. I just think that because he would have nothing to say about anything. It would just be really bad radio. Not even in a funny way, just really bad.
Not even like politically. Like Chip, I feel like should sometimes get away from the comedy and maybe start focusing, like Voss did yesterday, on the stuff going on Wall Street. And you know what I mean? There's so much going on in the news that Chip shouldn't just feel like he needs to do one-liners all the time.
But he would have really nothing interesting to say about anything, like Bloomberg. Because look at this. Bloomberg said that the Wall Street occupiers can stay, right? The fuck's that?
Taking your calls.
Yeah. And then it would just stop.
I'd like to learn more about Chip's personal life because he never really opens up or anything. I don't know if Chip has hobbies. I don't know if what Chip likes to do.
Yeah.
I don't know those things either. That's a good question.
Chip's either emotionally closed off or hasn't been developed that far yet. So
sometimes I think about like what Chip must do when no one's around. I mean, you can't crack jokes to himself all day, so he must do something.
I'll tell you what I caught myself doing in the mirror in my room was practicing Chip telling you to reshoot something, but then you just kind of keeping it in. Like Chip trying to be whimsical. Like, I forget what the punchline was. It was so terrible. It was like something at a Comic-Con, like something like, so maybe you ought to put on jet skis. It was something just terrible, but him just going like, so maybe you ought to put on jet skis. All right, let's do that again. So maybe you put on some jet skis. Like, just trying to have personality. And then telling you, like, just make sure you cut that one, cut the bad one, but you leave them all so he just looks terrible.
And you were practicing that in the mirror?
In the mirror, yeah. Just to see how it felt as Jim Norton.
Yeah, exactly. What's worse about that is not Chip, just the fact that Jim Norton was staring in the mirror, pretending that Chip was being Chip and pretending to be filmed for something.
But it was making me laugh just thinking of how you would throw Chip under the bus and how dumb he was to actually think that you would edit so it looked well.
Well, that's what, in one of the Chip videos that's on YouTube, Chip is saying, don't leave this in, don't leave this in.
Yeah, take this out. Fucking idiot he is.
Just shows up on YouTube.
Yeah, he thinks he rolls with an iron fist, but nobody likes him.
Yeah.
He's a moron.
Speaking of morons, Hank Williams Jr.
Yes.
We were just talking about this before we went on the air. He's put out a new song that he figures that this is really going to get back at Fox News because, he was fired from Monday Night Football. And
he says he quit, though.
I don't think he quit. Why would he quit his only gig?
Exactly.
What else does Hank Williams Jr. have going on?
Yeah.
Well, he tours,
Does he?
I think.
Does he tour?
Yeah.
And is he going to? How many tickets is he going to sell now? Give it like 2 years when he's not doing the Rowdy Friends song on Monday Night Football anymore. There's going to be the same 7 rednecks at every Hank Williams Jr. show.
And that song is fucking terrible.
You don't like all my rowdy friends are coming over tonight?
Oh, I had never heard it. Like, if I had heard it, I don't really watch Monday Night Football.
Well, not heard it. Heard them. It changes.
Yeah.
Depending on the
Every
team.
week? Every week?
Does it change every week? What if it's Cowboys Giants second year in a row?
He'll write new lyrics for new players.
He's not a lazy performer, this
Yeah.
Hank Williams Jr.
No, I'm sure he's good, but how many good songs can you write? When you,
Cowboys and the Giants.
when you look at a performer, most performers will write, a few, I mean, the Beatles are the exception, but maybe 5 or 10 great songs in their entire career.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to write 15
About
per
football
season
teams.
about football. What an arrogant asshole.
This is all he does.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You still can't write that many good songs about football.
It's really just like a paragraph of lyrics and that's it.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Can we hear the whole song?
Which
The new song?
I want to hear one of the football songs.
Just one of the football songs. I think we played a bit of it.
What football teams do
Doesn't
you have?
matter. Doesn't surprise me. I have no.
Okay, make sure it's a good one because Jim wants to be surprised.
It wouldn't have mattered if you told me that Hank Williams III was doing this. I would have believed you. I had no idea before this.
Hank Williams. I was reading that Hank Williams Jr. is not actually named Hank Williams at all.
Really?
Yeah.
What's his?
I can't remember what his birth name is, but so Hank Williams III. The whole thing is put into question.
They're just capitalizing on
Hank Williams,
on the father's name.
Yeah.
40 years running, still a work of art. A game filled with glory, guts, and heart. It's as good as it gets with this rivalry. The boys and the Giants go down and take these. Together and ready, so turn up the lights. The battle lines are drawn in Dallas tonight. Hey, come on and get ready. I mean,
That was some of that Penn did Anthony Cumia shoehorning. Rivalry.
That's fucking horrendous.
All my rowdy friends are here on Monday night.
Oh, nice. All my rowdy friends are here on Monday night.
I want to go hang out with Randall.
Who's
You know
Randall?
Hank Williams Jr.?
That's his name,
Yeah,
right?
I want to hang out with Randall.
Yeah.
He's
What's
one
his
of my
real-
rowdy friends.
Yeah.
What's his real name?
Randall, you tuning son of a bitch.
It's Randall Hank Williams.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's
All right.
close
Thanks, the middle
enough.
name.
Randall Williams.
So he would do a different one every week for that?
Yeah,
Every-
I mean, you heard just like the Cowboys and
The boys and Big
Giants.
D. And I've seen...
Rivalry.
That was horrible. I've seen moments of that, like where him and that thing. Like I've seen photos of him or video of him doing that. I just didn't realize it was for that stupid show.
Travis, how long has he been doing the Monday Night
years,
Football?
right?
Oh God, like 22 years.
Okay, so how many games per season?
That's
17.
17 games. What's 17 times 22? I can't do the
20
math.
times
Bobo
10,
could, but-
220. No, he couldn't. Oh, you scared me. Was he really good?
So it's at
17
30,
times 22.
340 plus
17 times 10 is 170. That's 340. Oh, you just said that.
probably about 380.
374.
All right, so 307. He wrote 374 versions of that song you just heard.
What a jizz bag. Look at the Beatles catalog, how many great songs they have.
Yeah.
And this fucking hayseed writes 300 about the same thing.
He needs to put out I wonder if he's smart enough to own the rights to these songs.
He does.
He does?
Well, ESPN can't use that song.
Wow.
That song is all he's doing is changing the lyrics to one of his previous songs. So he owns that song. ESPN can't use it anymore.
Do you think he owns the rights to the new songs that he did for ESPN? Because I would like some kind of a box set.
Oh, you
of
want
all
you want the whole
374 songs, and just see, because not only would you see all the different puns and fun things he did with the team names, but you get to see him evolve over all those years as an artist.
Wow, I fucking had no idea that he was doing
Oh,
that.
is this one of the original ones?
Yeah, this is 1989.
Land, you know how long I've been a Monday
I'm glad his look has changed so much.
Same
too.
creepy outfit.
This been here for 20 years, and here it's gonna stay. I gotta get ready, make everything right. 'Cause Monday night football's coming on tonight.
Tonight?
Tonight time.
Monday night party.
This is terrible.
Rock and Randall, ready to get the good times started.
Rock and Randall.
Rock and Randall.
Y'all can get the lake off.
All right.
All my rowdy friends are here for Monday night.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yay.
Hey, this is the biggest party.
Now these are the custom lyrics.
They really got it started.
How many times are you going to say started in one song?
All my rowdy friends are here on Monday night.
This fucking blows. By the way, I mean, anybody listening, if you've ever gotten pumped listening to that song, you should fucking hang yourself.
Just high-fiving with your bros?
Yeah.
It's here! It is here! It's the Cowboys and the Giants! The rivalry is going to be done.
Yeah, all your rowdy friends.
So he gets fired from Monday Night Football altogether.
Right.
And, or quit, I guess is what he said.
Yeah, up and left.
Because after doing that for all those years.
22
For
years.
22 years, he probably realized as an artist, his integrity was starting to be questioned. So
Right.
he thought he should move on.
He wants to go to Thursday Night Baseball to really, really test his chops.
Yeah. So he put out a song called "Keep the Change."
I think I figured out what change means.
What?
Obama.
What? I thought it was like a
'Cause there
literal-
are some politically sensitive lyrics in this song.
Oh no! Well, it's about time that Hank Williams Jr., aka Bocephus, got to really branch out and say what he wants to say. Because if there's anybody that I need to know what's really on his mind, it's Hank Williams Jr.
Wouldn't it be funny if he was singing a song about politics and it started with the house next door to me? Wow, Hank's really letting it all.
for a black eye? Yeah.
He really let it all hang out on this one. Let's hear it. I had
You
no
want to?
I skipped a minute in when it starts to get good because it's like a 3-minute song.
And I didn't know, by the way, the change until Travis said it. I did not know that literally it was an Obama reference.
I think it is.
You're probably right. Keep the change, of course.
Yeah, I mean, although he's not strong when it comes to metaphors, as we've heard in some of those football songs, so maybe it is just a song
Well, he mentions
about taking a cab.
I'll keep the USA You keep the change.
Okay, I get the lyrics now. Yeah, I mean, in one of the New York papers, it says the lyrics that were quoted was, "So Fox and friends want to put me down, ask for my opinion, twist it all around."
Yep. And by the way, anyone who says USA in a sign of patriotism, you're a dummy. No one smart ever says USA. Go USA.
What if they need it in the song? That strong A sound, the USA.
Then if your song requires that, your song blows.
And you can't figure out a different way to get that hard A.
What if you're watching Hacksaw Jim Duggan wrestle?
Well, a lot of people don't know this. Hacksaw Jim Duggan was a blithering idiot. So. All right, so you want to hear "Keep the Change"?
Yeah, we'll listen to it a little.
All right.
Hell been going down the drain. We know what we need. We know who to blame. United Socialist States of America. How do you like that name? I'll keep the USA and y'all can keep the change.
There's a little guitar interlude here.
I'll say I don't hate it, but I don't like the line USA.
Yeah.
But he can sing. That's really going on a limb saying Hank Williams Jr. can sing.
Although how do you like that name?
Terrible.
Seems like a little bit of lazy songwriting.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not a good writer.
Here comes the Fox and Friends thing.
Not yet. We're still soloing.
More guitar.
More guitar.
So, Fox and friends want to put me down. Ask for my opinion, then twist it all around. Supposed to be talking about my father's new CD. Well, two can play that gotcha game. Just wait and see. Don't tread on me. This country sure as hell's been going down the drain. We know what we need. We know who to blame. United Socialist States of America. Don't you just love that name? I'll keep the USA and y'all can keep the change.
Jim, you're digging it.
I take back everything I said.
You like this?
Yes.
Why?
It's too literal as far as the detail. And it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. All right,
Maybe
we got it.
I was supposed to be on TV talking about my daddy's CD.
It's a little too literal.
Just because TV and CD rhyme doesn't mean you have to be.
Yeah.
And TV and CD, two of Jimmy's favorite things.
Yeah, you have two.
What?
The worst comebacks ever. Yeah, nice hat.
But you're digging this.
I am. It's like, again, I don't need the literal breakdown of events. I'm a publicist. Surprise. We got it.
I'm aware of where the song comes from.
But I like the fact, I think this will be a hit for him because at least he's got balls enough to not just roll over. I like the fact that he's actually just speaking out, and I like what he's doing. I like the fact that he wrote a song, which is what he should do, because he's a singer, about what happened, and he's fucking smashing them a little bit.
He's not being anything but Bocephus.
I don't know what that means.
Bocephus is his nickname. He calls himself Bocephus, which is, anytime I talk about Hank Williams Jr., I insist on calling him Bocephus, because I think it's a funny name.
I like the fact that he's doing that. That's not my favorite song ever, but at least he's speaking his mind.
Top 10?
No, I would probably put it actually in the lower 1,400. Okay. But at least he's fucking saying what he wants through his work. And that sounds corny, but to me, that's what they should all be doing. So I respect that.
People are wanting to talk about Hank Williams' newest hit. What was it called? Keep the Change?
Keep the Change.
Right, and he's going to keep the USA. You can keep the change.
Yeah, that's kind of a dumbbell sentiment right there. I'll keep the USA.
And it's not like, what do you call it? United Socialist States of America?
Yeah, that's USSA. It's almost like Russia, USSR.
And it's not like, that's not a play on words. That's not clever. It's just very literal.
He just wanted to say socialism.
Yeah.
But there's something catchy about it. Keith in Connecticut.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Hi,
that
Keith.
Song gets me more fucking pumped up than that stupid Monday.
You know what? It really does make me want to do more than a fucking dumb football song.
Because you hated the football song.
I'm gonna like more than I've probably ever hated anything I've ever heard.
Worst song ever?
It's up there, yeah. I've heard Nazi marching songs I like a lot more.
Can we find another football song? I'd like to hear more Rowdy Friends songs.
They're fucking awful.
Jason in Texas.
Morning, boys.
Hi, Jason.
Man, back like when I was in high school, Hank Williams Jr. was kind of relevant, but he needs to fucking fall in a puddle of AIDS right now. I mean,
Well, you know. I'm sure a lot of people would agree with you, but that's good of me to say that. I had really nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't have to follow up Puddle of AIDS.
He's saying Puddle of AIDS, and you're treating it like it's a political show. Like, well, I'm sure a lot of people would agree with you there.
Yeah, well, what a faggot I turned into all of a sudden. Well, hey, easy now.
Especially it's your joke, Puddle of AIDS.
Exactly. Hey, where'd you get that type of tripe garbage from? Oh, sorry. No, but it's like, I don't know if I agree, because he is kind of a boob, but I like the fact that he said what he said. He didn't grovel and apologize.
No.
And I like the fact that he just came out and kind of wrote a fuck you song about it.
He definitely didn't growl. He didn't do anything and apologize. He came out and said Obama's still a socialist and this country is going down the drain, which obviously are his views.
Yeah. But I've had enough with people saying the country's going down the drain. I'm not going to get into a big political... But Obama did take over in a very shitty spot. Obama didn't force all that stuff to happen at the end of Bush's term. It's like... It wasn't like things were great when he took over.
He hasn't done much, it would seem, to fix anything.
Right. Or nothing to fix it.
Nothing.
Better
he's done nothing as president, but he hasn't done anything bad or good.
I don't think he didn't make it happen. It was shit when he took over. I remember the fucking stock market went into the toilet.
Yeah.
When Bush was still in office, so...
Patton Oswalt probably made the best observation of the whole thing when he said that, whether you agree with what Bush wanted to do or not, he did get it done.
He was effective.
Yeah. I mean, because Bush was a strong leader. Like, he had leadership qualities. Obama's not much of a leader.
And Patton's point, which I've quoted Patton's point, and I really have given stupid Patton credit every time, and I wish I didn't have to, because I'd love to steal a point and use it as my own, but I feel guilty because he's a comedian. But he made a great point about how the nicer guys don't seem to be as effective. Like Jimmy Carter is not a ruthless guy, and I don't think Obama's a ruthless guy.
No.
But neither one of them are very effective.
Yeah, I mean, they're not take charge people.
Right.
They're kind of like, okay, we'll talk about it, we'll figure out the best solution, but that's not, sometimes you just have to say, this is what we're doing, I'm the president.
Although Obama surprised me with his ability to be ruthless with killing fucking wanted terrorists like al-Awlaki or al-Awlaki and fucking bin Laden, those were guys that he said kill.
Yeah.
And
but I mean, if he hadn't killed bin Laden, if he had captured him or something, he would have never heard the end of it. I mean, he needed that.
Well, he still did it though. He took the ballsy way. Cause you would have thought a guy like him would have been, he's a fucking softy. He was going to kidnap him and put him on trial. And remember, he wanted to put those guys on trial in New York.
Yeah. And
then he backed up and he said no. Like I kind of like the way he's handled a lot of the terrorism. He's nowhere near as soft as I thought he would be.
Yeah, I mean, he needs something. You want to hear some more football songs?
More than I want to breathe.
Okay, good. I was hoping you would say that.
Now this one's with Hank's all-star band with Brian Setzer, Richie Sambora.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
By the way,
this is a big one.
Fucking Dice loved Brian Setzer because he's into that like 50s swing shit.
Right.
And I hate it.
You do.
Hate it. Boom, ba-doom, 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 ba-doom. Fucking boo.
It is.
You don't like
you
the
don't
little
like
Brian Setzer?
You don't like the Stray Cats, though?
Fucking hate him.
There is something to be said about moving on. Like, we're
Yes.
done with that. We're not... Just because you're dressed like that doesn't make it popular again. Like, it's finished.
We're going to rock this town. Oh, yuck.
If you really want to hear that music, just buy the old records.
Buy the old record.
You don't want to learn how to swing?
I fucking hate this.
There shouldn't be, like... If you like it, whatever. But there shouldn't be new music now
like
that
Cherry
sounds
Poppin'
like
Daddies?
this.
You know what? I like that. Back in, like, what was it, like 95 or
Yeah.
6 or whatever,
Yeah.
I was into it.
It's they're all. I'm not saying they're not good musicians. You can hear the drummers very good. I just think it's what are we gonna do next? Have fucking new slave songs? I don't want to hear it. It's old. Move along.
It's the opposite of contemporary.
This is fucking terrible. You're not rocking this town.
No.
You're not rocking it inside out.
Because we've evolved from this. Like, this isn't...
Bass is a fucking terrible instrument.
In pop music, the stand-up bass has no place.
Does Les Claypool play one?
He certainly does.
I was going to say that would be the exception because I'm not a big Primus fan, but I like him. Like, he's weird enough.
Well,
he's doing heavy songs.
He's doing new things with it. He's not doing stupid 50s throwback shit.
He does very odd things with the stand-up bass. Things that most people don't do with one.
Danny's a big Primus fan, and that's not my group, but out of respect for Danny, I was online, I saw, and out of respect for Sabbath, of course, Les Claypool's fucking Electric Funeral, his Sabbath cover, Bonnaroo, is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
I played on the Boneyard show.
Oh, cool.
I think that had a lot more to do with respect for Sabbath than it did respect for Danny. I don't think Danny even entered into your head.
I actually, let me correct myself, because I
You
saw
phony.
it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just showing because he's here, believe me. It fucking, it's very good.
Les Claypool.
Yeah, it's just
Les.
a really cool,
I think it's Les.
Les.
Yeah.
You have to say Les, then throw your tongue out like, between your Point the finger in the middle.
His gimmick.
He's a weird dude.
What's up with the Elvis thing? What's up with the wig?
Half an Elvis mask.
Oh, he does strange things.
He's just a weirdo.
Yeah, like someone will come out with like a monkey mask and just start.
I can respect it.
And he, in this video, it's from Bonnaroo 08, and he's doing this really weird little dances. He almost looks like he's OCD, walking back and forth.
I like the Les Claypool strut around the stage. It's very lanky, but it's like it's not even dancing. I don't know what you call it, but when he does it, it just makes you happy.
Like that. The movements he makes during this, it's in my top 3 favorite dances. It's just a weird tune. This guy's fucking kick ass, man.
Travis does a great Les impression too.
Hey, how you doing?
Is that what it sounds like?
Yeah, not good. Well, that's how his singing sounds. It's too short.
Yeah, it is kind of. It's very nasally.
And you're talking about Hank Williams Jr. being ballsy. He's got a lot of balls to go on stage and sing like this and pull it off.
He's got so much confidence.
Yeah.
Like, he knows how good he is.
He does, right? This kick-ass cover, though, man.
And he seems, Danny, you'd know better than I would, obviously, but he seems not to give a shit what music, like he's doing what he wants to do.
And he's been doing whatever he feels like he wants to do since, like, 87 already?
Yeah.
So, I mean, this has been going on for a long time.
Even at their height, like when they were like a super popular band, they weren't doing anything like anybody else was doing.
Oh no! I mean, and they hit the height of their fame with like Winona's Big Brown Beaver, and like they didn't want to be known for. I mean, look, Blayling's a great song, but I mean, you don't want to be you're the Big Brown Beaver guys.
Yeah.
So like they actually went for a while without playing it.
Now, is this Primus or his solo thing? It doesn't say Primus. It says Les Claypool.
Yeah,
You know what? I don't
think
know.
This is solo.
I don't know who he was touring with at Bonnaroo. You know what? It was probably. I don't think they were back together yet, so it was probably his own solo thing.
All right, we can go back to the Brian Setzer. I'll just sit there and watch this whole fucking.
Yeah.
So I have this on my iPad. I download. I finally figured out how to fucking. What is it called? Capture video from the net like these. I don't know how to do that. And I just watch them on my iPad. The same fucking 20 priest fucking pogues and this.
Yeah, it's cool. They did a bunch of really cool cover stuff. They've covered like. There's a great album called like Rhinoplasty where it's all just covers, and also Miscellaneous Debris. They cover some weird shit. You know, they'll cover like Pink Floyd. They'll cover like Peter Gabriel.
that.
They did some Metallica too. They did like the
Master
thing that should not
Puppets.
be.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
really cool.
I've heard them on some greatest, like some tribute albums. A couple. I think they've been on a Sabbath one.
And it's funny because like they've just never disappeared. They've always just been around. I mean, you know, from the Beavis and Butthead days. I mean, look at even Bill and Ted. You know, when you think about the Battle of the Bands of Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure, they were on stage playing, and you think that movie came out in what 1989 or whatever.
Were they known then or no?
They were getting there. They were getting there, sure.
And even just as like their, Big Brown Beaver popularity started to wane and fade down, they popped up on the South Park song.
Yeah, I mean
That was like that brought them right back.
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah.
It really helped out a lot.
Big Brown Beaver. What's that make you think of?
Vagina, probably, Chip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to listen to Hank Williams. Let's just leave this on.
All I want to do is fucking.
So,
I love this fucking cover.
but is this better or Brian Setzer? Which do you prefer?
I prefer. We got on this because of my correction of myself at the stand-up bass. Like I don't mind it. It is being played, I think, in the song.
Well, let's hear, Eric, do you have Brian Setzer? Let's hear how Brian Setzer does it as compared to Les Claypool.
Fuck you.
Listen, this is a little snappier. You got to admit that. You can kind of move your hips to it a little better.
That fucking group singing.
Because it's like, it's not creative. It just seems like you're copying what people did 40 years ago.
It's not my style. I mean, again, but Dice would listen to this shit. He loves it. That was the opener, so I listened.
And you hated it.
No.
But
I
Dice's
didn't like
whole
it.
style is like greaser,
Yeah.
50s.
He's old school. I
And
mean,
that's really big now too. I mean,
is,
like
right?
the not so much like rockabilly is really
Rockabilly.
big, but people want to try to infuse that with punk or whatever and calling it like psychobilly, and like that's like if you want to be cool right now, you're a psychobilly.
Right. Because you can't just like punk because it's
No,
too
because that's
popular.
done already. They already like punk.
Yeah, it's
people
finished.
already like that. People already like the 50. The rockabilly shit already did its thing. So now you have to have something new.
I think Johnny Cash was one of the first to start, like, punk people like Johnny Cash.
I love Johnny
And he
Cash.
was like the first country music guy, I think, for them to really embrace. Like, I mean, some of them, like, legitimately like country music, but Johnny Cash was the first, I think, universally accepted country music artist into that punk community.
I think it's everyone's community.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, rock people and everybody just seems to love Johnny Cash for whatever reason.
They worshipped. You know who loved him was Gigi Allen, and Gigi was a fucking. I read some book. I know a guy who toured with them, the Murder Junkies, and he said that. Like Gigi Allen didn't respect anybody. He was like a fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
He'd eat shit and threw fucking his own feces at the audience. And he wondered why the fucking gig was half sold. And
Why would you go to that show?
yeah, he was terrible.
People would go to the show hoping that he would throw shit on them. That was an honor for some people.
And those people grew up and they had children. And you know what those children are? Juggalos. That's what happened with the Gigi Allen fans.
But he's, I don't know what juggalos are.
They're Insane Clown Posse fans.
Oh, okay.
What was that line from Sonny? This is Matt. He's a juggler.
But he was a fucking, he worshipped Johnny Cash.
There's a great photo in that book of.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah. Oh, it's a great book. I read the.
Wasn't he giving him something on stage?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they said they didn't get to meet Johnny, but he met the daughter, and he was very respectful, and he loved him.
I Was a Murder Junkie. That's the name of the book.
Yes, it's a good book. Who's the guy who wrote it? I know him. I can't remember his name.
If I was Johnny Cash, I would have no interest in meeting Gigi Allen. If they were like, Gigi Allen's a big fan of yours, I'd be like, that guy throws shit at Johnny Cash.
Evan Cohen.
Evan Cohen. Well, Johnny was, he was probably used to that type of reverence.
Yeah.
I mean, this was in the 80s or 90s, actually. So, he was used to people worshiping him after a while. Oh, yeah. What's he's wearing like Johnny's on stage, and Gigi is wearing some weird fucking Nazi-looking hat and a ripped-up jacket. What's he handing him, though?
I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
Like some kind of paper, is it? Is it a note?
I'm sure it was something nice because he loved him.
Yeah.
But he when he covered all these rocks, I don't know how Anthony.
Oh, he was handing him a Murder Junkies T-shirt.
Oh, was he? Okay. Hold on. I don't know how. Ant, how do you not like the Johnny Cash? Oh, I don't like it. I just
Jim, my favorite part of that was Jim actually got up and went over to the
Ant's
microphone. He could have just stayed in front of his own microphone.
No, but it was fun to do over there. I don't know how he could not like it. I love Cash's covers and stuff. I think they're great.
Well, I was raised on country music a lot because my parents are born to rednecks. But yeah, I mean, I've always liked Johnny Cash a lot. I don't. There's some Johnny Cash. I get him not liking everything or not worshiping Johnny Cash. But there's got to be something. I also think that sometimes Anthony gets his opinions and kind of closes himself off to breaking that opinion.
He's not exactly an open flower.
Exactly.
But there's a song called "Life Goes On." It's from I'm sure it's from the late '50s, early '60s. It's about a breakup, and he's saying something about being gay, like being happy, like that's the time it was. And he's just a fucking bad dude. I don't know how anybody can not find Johnny Cash they like. It's like Beatles. Like, how do you not just want to tap your fucking feet?
Yeah.
And somebody was smashing people for liking the '50s, and this fucking outdated nonsense.
But this wasn't like redone. Like, it's not like Johnny Cash went and copied, old country artists and did it in the '90s. Like, that's why the Stray Cats stink, because they're doing 50s rock now, which is not original. You're just copying 50s rock.
I just don't get it.
Like, I don't mind people who like things that were done in the 50s.
Right.
But why would you like it now? I mean,
and think it's hip and cool to get not rocking the town on a Saturday.
No,
how did we get on this? What we talked? We had Setzer. I was smashing Setzer. I don't like him. You don't like him. What were we doing from there?
We were going to play another Hank Williams song.
Oh, let's play that.
You want some more Bocephus, Jim?
I don't want to just play
Setzer,
stuff that I like. That's all I'll do.
All right. Well then, I don't know how we should. Oh, right, because Brian Setzer.
Yeah, Brian Setzer was in Hank's all-star band for this.
Right, yeah.
With Richie Sambora. How could you be a self-respecting musician and join Bocephus's all-star band?
Well, it's Hank Williams Jr., Brian Setzer, Richie Sambora, Gretchen Wilson, Cindy Blackman. I don't
know. I know Gretchen Wilson.
Bootsy Collins.
Bootsy Collins.
Drake Bell.
I don't know who Drake Bell is.
All right. Anyway. So this was for, I think, the Dolphins and the Steelers.
Was this like a premiere? Why is this so special?
I think
sometimes you just have a special game.
Sometimes you just land Brian Setzer and you got to do something.
You sure do.
So Jim, you'll probably like the combination of Hank Williams Jr. and Brian Setzer.
I hate combinations.
You do?
I hate when there's a combination playing because that sounds old. Like when there's the so and so combination of people. That implies stand up bass and like a little fucking.
And I've got to
jazz
assume
drum.
that if Richie Sambora is in it, there's a guitar solo.
I would hope
right?
so.
Let's hope so.
Okay.
How come we started in a minute? What did we miss?
It's
Oh,
the
just
whole
crowd noise. Okay.
I'm driving up to the
shit.
to
Okay,
the
shit.
gig. Yeah.
This is Hank Williams Jr.
1,
Oh, there he is.
That was Brian Setzer. Oh, good. The horn section.
A lot of brass and slams.
Again with the rowdy friends.
And going out
What
to
about your
boogie.
calm friends? Do you ever hang out with them?
Exactly. I hate the fucking horns.
They have no place in music anymore.
No, they don't. Who's the broad?
That's Gretchen Wilson.
Who's that?
She's a country artist.
Is she?
But like new country, not.
This is.
Oh, Drake Bell is from Drake and Josh.
Oh
On
my
Nickelodeon.
God!
I hate this.
It's the Nickelodeon show.
Your horn sections are fucking terrible.
I bet they are. Oh, there's that Brian Setzer guitar
Oh,
solo.
he's really jamming.
That's it?
That stunk.
What a waste of a band.
Exactly.
It was an all-star band.
Why use them?
It's not exactly the Wilburys.
Yeah. He could have got Ant and his 50 cal in the fucking basement and done that for a lot less money.
Tom on Long Island has a question for Jim.
Sure.
Tom.
Hopefully I can help, Tom.
Yeah,
You're
good
out,
morning,
Tom.
boys.
Hi.
Jimmy, Johnny Cash, I know he's well loved. I just don't get it. Would you be able to explain it to me? The fascination with I hurt myself today.
Well, he did do a slower version of Hurt, but even the guys that wrote it, Ope told the story about the guys who wrote it. Did he hang up?
9 Inch Nails.
Oh, okay.
He's still there.
They were blown away when they heard it. He had a great bassy voice. I think he sang with a lot of fucking heart. That's why I liked him. And I love the way he sang.
It's funny how people who don't get Johnny Cash always reference the cover that he did 10 years before he died.
Yeah.
That was after. Wasn't that, I don't know if that was after a stroke. That was after a stroke.
Yes, it was.
And I think
Like he's got this giant body of work, and people are like, I don't understand Hurt.
Yeah. I mean, that's his most famous song
Yeah, go
in
back
the last
60
10
years.
That's
He's
not-
got a giant catalog.
He was already an icon. That's what made
Yeah.
the video and the song significant because he was going through this huge career
His
that
wife
he had.
you know.
she died after that, but it was because it was a really cool video, and they should have won Video of the Year. This is why MTV stinks. Because Video of the Year that year they gave to Justin Timberlake, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think even he said this doesn't belong
Yeah, he
to me.
did. I remember
Like, He
that.
knew Johnny
He-
Cash.
He went, didn't he?
Who?
Johnny Cash.
To the Video Music Awards?
If
I
I
think he
remem-
was there.
If my mind serves me, he did. Yeah, I think he was there because that was sort of an obvious one that he should
When
have.
is MTV ever gonna do anything for outside of their
Yeah, it
their
was-
12 to 20 demo?
I mean, they played the video on MTV. I thought that was like sort of their moment to be sort of hip MTV. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
what
they
a
didn't.
terrible move by them. What fucking shallow
And
dummies.
Travis or Danny, you guys both have computers. Do you know? Was it "Rock Your Body" that won the video that year?
But yeah, dude, I like his voice a lot. I like, I love the way he sings. Listen to this, like, Ghost Riders in the Sky.
Well, he
That's
comes
a
from-
toe tapper.
And he comes from like a real place. Like you sense actual emotion in
Yeah.
his songs. That's what made Hurt special.
Right.
Was that lyrically it was a 9 Inch Nails song, but the way he sang it, those lyrics began to apply to him, and he was coming from like a deep emotional place.
Yeah, he took their song and he kind of made it his own, which is not always easy to do when you cover something, to do it totally different. Like he did Rusty Cage, totally different
Yeah, I
than
like
Soundgarden.
Rusty Cage.
I heard that first time I heard that song was one of the UFC fighters, this guy from Whippany in Jersey. I keep forgetting his name. Walked out to it at UFC and it was fucking great.
For some reason, every 3 or 4 days, I would say, Daddy Sang Bass pops into my
Sure.
head.
It's as it should, every 2 days.
Yeah.
Fucking great.
I just sing it on the couch, and Jess is like, "What are you singing?"
Mama sang tenor.
Me
Fucking-
little brother John.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great song.
Yeah.
Everything he sings, you just want to fucking snap your dumb fingers to.
Even his last album's great with Ain't No Grave. And
Ain't no. He was dead before that came out.
Yeah.
It was released posthumously. I can never say posthumously as myself. Yes, Ain't No Grave and fucking look up Redemption, sir. That's a great song too. There's a video of him singing a song called Redemption in front of a small audience. But if you don't like him, you don't like him.
He lost
Right,
Best
right.
Male Video to Justin Timberlake for Cry Me a River.
Oh.
And then Video of the Year, he lost to Missy Elliott for Work It.
Oh, well, that makes sense. I mean, work it.
MTV is just shit to not fucking give him Video of the Year.
It's like, what's even the point of nominating?
after all
you know?
he's contributed, and it was the best. It was the best video.
I mean, is anybody really giving credibility to like the MTV Awards? I mean, does anybody really think that like
Well, I mean,
it's a
it's-
celebration of talent and hard work, or
It's
is
the
it just
one
whoever
place-
is most popular at the time?
Yeah.
It is what you said, but
that's the Billboard Music Awards.
It's
That's why I don't
also
watch any of that stuff.
It's also the
impossible
one
to watch.
place where you can recognize a video. You know what I mean? And that was like a well done video. Like, does anybody remember Missy Elliott's "Work It" video?
No one.
Does that have any social significance today?
No.
And Hurt, you could show to anybody.
It was a chance for a younger generation to kind of honor a guy who's contributed a lot.
Yeah.
Over 50 years, and a guy who's really contributed a lot to music,
And
they
when-
just didn't do it, of course.
In the end of his life, was able to evolve back into contemporary music.
Yeah,
which
how
doesn't
many-
get done?
How many fucking people at that age could take a Nine Inch Nails song or a Soundgarden song and fucking cover, or U2 songs, and cover them and make them great?
I mean, look, other than Hank Williams Jr. and Johnny Cash, I don't know how many people could relate to youngsters.
Thank God fucking Johnny Cash kicked the bucket, because they probably would have had him taking over and singing this stupid Monday Night Football. Oh, my rowdy friends are here since my friends are dead.
Singing all slowly about the Jets.
Yeah, he would have made it all sad and shit. All
I
right,
don't want
sir.
to watch this game anymore.
Thank you for the call.
Thanks, man.
But
Yeah, but I mean, Work It and Cry Me a River.
it makes me
Beat
so.
Hurt.
At least Timberlake knew that he shouldn't have. How do you not pay tribute to such a great? Like literally, if I was ever nominated for a comedy award, and like years ago, Bill Hicks was nominated for some award that Carrot Top got, and comedians were pretty annoyed about that, and the Carrot Top should have said something about Hicks. Again, I don't remember it, so I can't comment on it. But sometimes you just got to know that,
That was his moment.
Yeah,
And,
man.
those people messed up. There's no reason for nobody is going to think that Justin Timberlake deserves it because he gives some speech about how much he deserves it. He looks better for saying this should have gone to Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
He's more respectable. And
Do we have that? I've never seen that.
we're watching the Work It video.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm too busy watching Video of the Year 2003.
yeah. Nobody remembers.
You don't think this is better than Hurt?
I'm sure
watch
it's-
it. Give it a chance. There was no dancing in the Hurt video, which is something that I felt.
This
it was
is not a
lacking.
terrible music video.
No, but in comparison,
But she
who
did
gives
make
a
good
shit?
videos. She's very creative. However,
look, I'm not going to say bad words about Missy Misdemeanor Elliott, but it
who
doesn't
gives a
have
shit.
the depth or the relevance that
No.
Johnny Cash's video. Johnny Cash did a video that was saying goodbye
Right.
after a 40-year career, basically saying this is my last will and testament.
Right.
And I don't think Work It had that.
And everyone knew his wife I think she had just died, and she's
Yeah.
in the video, and it ties in, and they show it's a brilliant retrospective about his career. It's a miserably sad video.
Yeah,
But
and the
it's fucking
song
great.
complements it perfectly.
Yeah, but why would shit MTV do the right thing? It made me hate MTV more than I thought I ever could. I remember that I hated them for that. And I'm watching this now, and it's not a bad video, but to think that this is better than that.
This should have won Best Hip Hop Video, but that's it.
What shallow fucking dopes. Although it's got 7 million views. I'd love to be. All right, let's just go annoy me. I'm annoyed now at the fucking MTV music, like it means anything. You're right, Danny, it means nothing.
It really does.
I really shouldn't care.
I guess
fudge.
it was their time to mean something, and they were like, "No."
And they
we're
dropped the
not
ball
gonna-
again.
Yeah, we're gonna
Assholes.
not mean anything.
I mean, they have a pretty, well-known reputation for not doing the right thing. I mean, we can go back to the Metallica fucking, who am I thinking of? Jethro Tull situation. I mean,
Was that them or was that the Grammys?
That was the Grammys.
Oh, that was the Grammys.
That was the Grammys.
Oh, you know what? My
that was
mistake.
that first year when the Grammys started actually allowing
heavy metal.
Yeah,
But you know what? It's all those music awards. It's every award show. They just morph into the same one because they always pull shit like that. It could be MTV, it could be the Grammys, it could be the Emmys or the Oscars or whatever. It's just whoever had the best sales that year gets the award.
They try to be relevant and they just fail. What's this? I don't like this song. Hurt. What's he hurt about? Something. Bunch of grapes all over.
Oh, this could be funny. Frank in Oregon.
Hey guys.
Hello, Frank.
Hey, there's a pretty cool video of Johnny Cash in the 50s, an old grainy on YouTube about making fun of Elvis.
Oh, really?
He was he was cool enough to make fun of Elvis when Elvis was the shit,
Oh, okay. Is it in an interview or on stage?
No, it's like a I don't know, one of those hillbilly shows they do, you know,
Oh, okay.
like a hee-haw type of thing.
Travis has it.
All right, thanks, Frank.
Wow, I've never seen this. It says LOL.
Impersonation of a rock and roll singer. But, Elvis who? Oh. No, I'll tell you, this is an impersonation of a rock and roll singer impersonating Elvis, is what this really is. Let me see, Marcy, you got a phone?
All right, he's changing guitars.
It's the first hip-hop beef.
Yeah, yeah,
Popping his collar.
yeah. He's doing dice with the hair.
Looks like Andy Kaufman getting into
Yeah, he
character.
does.
He's the best.
Oh,
Johnny Cash.
yeah. That's funny. Now he's just kind of setting up. Snatch the guitar.
He's got his legs going like Elvis.
Yeah. It's actually a pretty serviceable Elvis physically.
Yeah. Moving his hips.
All right.
If I lose my pants, I'll have to charge extra to get in here next Saturday night. Well, since my baby left me.
Threw his back out.
Did the head thing and hurt his back. Yeah, real physical comedy. Not working on the radio, I don't think, but
No.
it's actually better than I thought it was going to be.
Look, for a joke to carry over even that much after 50 years, you got to give the guy a little credit.
Yeah, he still got a little chuckle out of me.
Yeah.
He's doing a pretty good Elvis.
The fact that he's doing it at the height of Elvis's popularity, it wasn't popular to, you know, make fun of other people
Yeah.
and stuff
Especially
like
not
that.
Elvis.
Yeah, especially not Elvis. That's what makes it.
I wonder if Elvis enjoyed that or if he hated it.
I would think that Elvis didn't respond well to negative criticism.
Maybe not, yeah.
Especially since he kept his
Got fat
Memphis...
and did drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he kept the Memphis Mafia around him to just say yes to him all the time.
Yeah, he really did like people nodding one direction.
I love the stories of Elvis pulling people over in his car because Nixon made him a drug enforcement officer.
Would he?
Yeah, he called himself Officer Elvis, and he used to get all fucked up and pull people over in his car because he was an honorary police officer.
Idiot. What would he do to them?
He would just, so I don't know, he couldn't give him tickets. He couldn't arrest anybody.
Slow down.
Yeah,
Be careful. Like Steven Seagal trying to arrest people.
Yeah. I wish that Steven Seagal show was still on.
Oh, it's not on the air anymore?
No, hell
It was better
no.
than The Wire.
Yeah, it was. Steven Seagal training to be a police officer. What was the name of that show? It was on...
Oh, should have killed himself.
Lawman or some shit?
Lawman, that was it.
Which is, by the way,
Steven Seagal, Lawman.
That's what a 17-year-old would name it about himself. That's what a dummy would name it. I want to be a lawman.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Well, we could take a break now.
Yeah, my fucking Kenny knows that we're going to do about an hour, so he goes out and gets eggs at 6:04. I'm just looking at these fucking eggs, which are probably frozen. Okay.
Well, you enjoy your eggs. I think we should. Yesterday on the show, Opie and Anthony, by the way, since we mentioned this an hour ago and haven't mentioned it since,
Yes.
Opie and Anthony are in
Have
court.
died.
Yes, I passed away.
They're dead. They went to
Yes.
court and died.
Yes, it's
so
speculated they caught the disease at the same time together.
they're dead. So this is. Oh, we should play this again in honor of where we're at.
I don't know what it is.
Well, you will in a second, everybody.
Get up, folks. It's Jim and Sam on the Morning Jam.
And we'll be right back with more Morning Jam with Jim and Sam and Danny and Travis.
Back with Norden and Friends.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's Jim and Sam, the Morning Jam.
Morning Jam with Jim and Sam.
Where's our jingle? It should start all the time. It should always be played. Oh, you don't have it?
I don't know if Eric has it in there or not, but
This is our jingle.
The Morning Jam with Jim and Sam.
and of
Very
course,
good.
Crazy Travis and Wacky Danny are here too.
Yeah. Yeah, not to mention E-Rock.
Or should have been Chip. I don't know.
I know. Yeah, I couldn't decide on how to do it. Like it was too awful even for Chip. It was just a non-statement.
Opie and Anthony are in court today. Sandy Kane has brought them back to court.
Yes, paternity suit.
Yes, yes. She's just the sound she makes, everything. It is a shame that she's not going to do the show anymore.
It is, believe me, I'm heartbroken.
I mean, we'll never let her on again, and we never should.
They can't, and the company wouldn't, and they can't.
Right, they
Once you
shouldn't.
sue, you can't.
But I mean, I always loved when she was in here, just because her humor. She's just so stupid and not funny, but completely oblivious to it. Like she thinks that like when she and Jim are in the room together, it's two comics. Like, you know what I mean?
Like I understand her anger, I think, and like I understand like it's not cool. You know, you get your guitar destroyed. Like that sucks. I'd be mad if that happened to me. But you know what? You got your money back for it,
and then some,
and then some. And by being on this radio show, it only gets your name out there to everyone else. And those are the people that are going to go to Times Square and give you $2 for a picture. So why would you fuck with that?
And it's the only show that would have her on anymore. Nobody has her on.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have to imagine that the majority of people that are going down to Times Square looking for Sandy Kane are people
fans
of this show.
Yeah.
So.
I always liked her. It's funny, like, when she would, because the abuse was really funny. It happened for quite a while.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was times when we just would actually treat her like a regular guest, and I preferred that. Like, when she was, because she was so mean to other chicks.
Yeah, that's what I was, like, not only just, like, when we did it once, I think we had some kind of beauty pageant or something.
Yes.
We had a bunch of hot girls in here, and Sandy Kane would just go down the line pointing out their flaws as if she was perfect.
Without irony.
No, she didn't even get the bit. She didn't get why this is funny.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't understand that the reason her making fun of good-looking women is funny is because she's hideous. That last part was lost on her.
But it would annoy them, and if they would say something, she was not pleasant about it. And I like the fact that she would be mean to these girls.
Yeah.
Hey, man, your tits are lopsided, man.
Yeah. And then if they got mean back to her, she was like, what are you upset with me about? They are lopsided.
Like, that stuff to me was fucking priceless. But, you know, whatever. It worked out the way it worked out. So
Yeah.
I'm sure Opie and Anthony won't lose. They can't lose because they didn't do anything wrong.
Not. And I mean, and she. How many times was Sandy Kane on this show? How many times was Sandy Kane on this show after she got her guitar smashed and after she got her her hat shot with a gun and shit in? Exactly, Sandy.
Yeah,
exactly. I thought that maybe we should update the people because yesterday, the last hour of the show, and then into the after show. It was all about Jocktober and Jackie, Tony, and Donnie from Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Because at first we were just doing the regular Jocktober thing where we smashed them to bits and it was all going well. Then I can't remember how it happened, but maybe one of the clips mentioned their Facebook or somehow.
Well, weren't we just looking for pictures of her or of Jackie?
A couple of fans ended up on their Facebook, and for the rest of the day. Their Facebook was, and their Twitter, and whatever other second Facebook they had, everything that our listeners could find.
The Twitter
were under assault.
I never know how to navigate Facebook. Like I genuinely hate Facebook. I cannot find on my page where my fucking friend requests are. Because there's something in my private where you don't see friend requests on my homepage. I fucking hate it.
It's just up in the top corner, isn't it?
It's not there. No, it's not on mine. I guarantee you it's not.
Oh, do you have a fan? You have a fan page?
Yes, but I also have a regular page too.
Well, then it would be.
I don't know where it is.
Oh, Jim.
Facebook is complicated.
It stinks. It poke me. Have a pillow fight.
They've made it very complicated.
It has become that way.
And also, it's like on the fan pages, you can't do anything on them. Like, you can't add apps. You can't. Like, I can't send Instagram pictures to a fan page. I can't do a big cartel store on a fan page.
And there's too many page. Like, I don't even know like what page to use for what. It's like there's so many different pages, and then what you could do differs from page to page to page.
And like, this is what I want to do because my Facebook page hit 5,000. So I was like, okay, I got to open a fan page. I want to take that 5,000, put them on the fan page, and then close the personal account.
No way to do it.
And they won't let you.
They won't let you transfer stuff like that. It's really weird.
Yeah,
they're not. They just came out with their own app. Like, what idiots.
They just now, because forever they were saying that the iPad is not mobile like the iPhone is, so they're not going to have an iPad app.
Do they have an iPhone app?
They've had an iPhone app for a long time.
It might be the worst.
It fucking
It's horrible.
sucks.
It does suck.
Dude, every time I open it up, it's like just hit the Facebook icon and then just sit the phone down for about 45 seconds because nothing is going to happen.
Nothing.
Is this, let me see, I have a couple of them. Is this this is the one, right? It just says the Facebook, the big F?
Yeah.
Facebook! Okay.
And yesterday, I guess, they updated the app to finally make it also, you could use it on the iPad. Like, they have their own iPad.
You have to buy a new
app
iPad one, right?
No, it's free.
It's free right now.
Okay.
But
I've heard good things about it.
well, I downloaded the update on my iPhone. I didn't try the iPad app yet, and I tried it 3 times last night, and every time Facebook screen pops up, app crashes. Facebook
Well,
screen
I'm gonna
pops up,
download it right now.
app crashes. I don't know if it's just my phone.
I use Friendly for iPad, and I never had a problem.
I don't know what Friendly is. Facebook is a nightmare to navigate.
Yeah.
It really, because I'm not a fucking fat girl. I don't want to fucking poke my friends or have a potato fight.
And, yeah.
Fucking assholes. Elbow your friend's ribs. LOL. Go fuck yourself.
They're saying like Farmville on Facebook is getting addictive. Who would play Farmville
what
on
it is.
Facebook?
I saw Farmville gift cards at CVS the other day.
I've seen they actually make Facebook gift cards, like at like Target or whatever, by the cash register where they sell iTunes gift cards. You can buy $20 Facebook gift cards, and that's to buy your friends potatoes and pillow fights and gifts. You just see a picture of a gift on your Facebook that you paid money for.
I don't know what any of it means. I don't know how to. If they should make it where you could simplify your page, I don't want to look at all this streaming fucking shit like I'm watching Morning Joe. MySpace was annoying, but there were certain things they were good at.
Well, I think that this isn't the final version. They're rolling out like a timeline. I think they're trying to make it a little more like Twitter.
And everyone that has Timeline loves it.
What's Timeline?
It's gonna be the new Facebook homepage.
Is that where you can go back and see your old stuff?
You can't now, right?
I think you can. You just have to like keep loading old stuff, and it would just take forever to get back there.
But the privacy settings, it's all email notification. Leave me the fuck alone. Sam is friends with Travis. Sam and Travis went to have burgers. Who gives a fuck?
That would never happen.
And people, I wouldn't. And people adding you to groups. And
I hate that
And you get emails from these groups that you want no part of.
Yeah, it's like, what the and why? Look, people out there, why would you invite me to something if you live in Tennessee? I'm not going. Stop inviting me to things.
Can't you make it where they can't invite you, though, or no?
Dude, I don't know.
I don't either.
Complicated.
It takes me, I go into these groups, and every time it takes me forever to find the button where you can just leave the group, leave me alone.
And blocking people is kind of hard, too.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to block people who are sending me spam and mass invites, but you actually have to physically write. There should be a button that just says, like on Twitter, block. I don't want to get emails from this cunt anymore. I don't want to deal with them. There should just be a button.
When Facebook first came out, and I was in college, and everybody was using it. Okay, so it's spinning.
I'm just, by the way, I've downloaded the new Facebook, and I wanted to see if it was nice, and so far, it's just been spinning.
But isn't that the iPad app or no?
They updated the
iPhone app as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so now it's one app.
Ooh. I restarted my phone. I'm hoping that might help.
Sometimes
you had to restart your phone?
No, I'm doing it as a precaution.
Just to be
Sometimes a little jump start. No, I'm going to download. This is getting exciting for people. I'm going to download.
This is a big 720 break.
Dude, I just said I'm going to download. I was going to say I'm going to download the update. Who gives a fuck?
Thank God there's no ratings on satellite radio.
Oh, my God. Would they all be tuning out?
Of course.
I don't blame them.
They're like, yeah, we have Facebook on our phone, too. Big deal.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's not get out of the car. Let's see what happens when he downloads the update. Fucking boring twat I am.
It's still spinning.
It's still spinning.
Yeah, I mean, I would never use, if I wasn't, in a show business type, if I wasn't.
You're not.
This is show business.
It's not.
If I wasn't interacting with fans.
Showbiz.
This is show business, ladies and gentlemen. And if I wasn't interacting with fans, I don't think I would ever be on Facebook at all.
I would, just to reconnect, because I'm older. So my 25-year high school reunion is coming up. And actually, what's today's date? Next week. And I'm not going.
Don't reveal your age, Jim.
Oh, how 29 again. I've gotten so many laughs saying that. I'm going to not go because the hotel they're holding it at is the Hyatt in New Brunswick, and that's where Geraldo died. So it's like a little. I mean, it's like, it's a hotel. It's a viable place.
Yeah, but you don't want to.
For me, I'm like, I just can't fucking,
I wouldn't want to.
Nah, it won't be fun. It won't be fun.
Oh, Tyson has some advice on how we can handle the Facebook app problem. Danny,
good.
You're restarting.
I'm rebooting because fuck this.
Tyson.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, yeah, you gotta uninstall it and then reinstall it.
So you have to delete the Facebook app that you already had.
Yeah.
And instead of just updating it, and then install it as if it were new.
Oh, by the way, since nobody likes to read except for me, it says here when you go to the update, notice to users upgrading from an older version. If you're having trouble starting the app after the upgrade, please delete and reinstall the app. This has been confirmed to solve the issue.
Well, how about Zuckerberg figures out something better than delete and reinstall? No
about
other app does that.
Zuckerberg figures it out.
Yeah, Zuckerberg, you're supposed to be this smart guy. I saw the movie.
Exactly. I know what you want to call him. Go ahead, Sam. It'll fly.
I'm not going to do it.
All right.
I won't do that. But we were talking about this because of Jackie,
right.
Tony, and Donnie's Facebook page.
And I couldn't navigate the page. Like, I couldn't find, list to comment. And where all the comments show up?
You wanted to get involved in the fun, and you just got frustrated because you couldn't get on Facebook.
I wouldn't post on it. I would just read them and laugh. But the Twitters, I fucking read probably 100 consecutive @mentions for their Twitter were Opie and Anthony fans. They were helpless, those people. They had no defense.
These shows that we feature on Jocktober, whenever they end up getting attacked like this, the only thing you can do is ignore all ONA fans. And eventually they'll go away because we're going to hit another show tomorrow and everybody will forget. But when they started fighting back and making bad jokes about Opie's hair or whatever, like half the I was reading their comments, and our fans are saying horrible things like death jokes, rape jokes, disease jokes, everything you can think of.
I was embarrassed to be associated with this show.
But then when they were commenting on why are you doing this? There were fans that said, well, you shouldn't have made fun of Opie's hair. As if that's viable. But instead, I figured since Opie and Anthony aren't here today, they're in court, we should modify Jocktober a little bit. Because Wood Floor Liquor on Twitter,
yes,
he actually, I wanted to give him credit because while we were talking about them, he was able to capture what they were talking about as this was going on.
Oh, good.
And they brought up these attacks on their radio show while it was happening. So this is it starts a little cut off because we were doing a radio show. We can't be everywhere, but
hold on, is it still not working, Danny?
Are you on Facebook?
No, actually, I'm not, because what my phone wants to do right now is just wait.
Just wait.
It just wants to wait.
Oh, I'm waiting too.
I've downloaded the F, so that's cool.
I don't even have the F yet.
So maybe I'll be able to do this. Yeah. I'm fucking sick of everybody talking about how Apple products are so much better than everything else. They're not. They're not. They suck just as much as everything else.
Maybe it's the Wi-Fi we're on.
It's not think differently. It sucks differently. It sucks differently than fucking Windows does.
Yeah, what happened? You were the guy.
No,
who
I've
was
never
saying
been rah-rah Apple. I've never been. I don't know how I got that reputation.
No, you're Apple fanboy. That's what it says on all the
because
websites.
I liked an iPhone a few months ago when it worked. Now it doesn't work anymore. It sucks a dick.
You must have a virus or something. My iPhone's working.
I just want it to work. I paid for a phone that works.
I can't wait to get the fucking Verizon. I'm finally going to go to Verizon on this new phone.
Why don't you go to Sprint?
Nah, because I think Verizon's better, right?
Yeah.
They're better than Sprint.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean, well? Sprint's not good service, is it?
I just wouldn't want to go to Verizon with an iPhone because you can't talk on the phone and surf the web at the same time.
But when do I ever do that?
You don't really?
No,
when you're
why
on
would
hold
I?
with something and you're like, oh, okay, I'll just go on the
Never.
internet.
I've actually never done it either.
You know, the few times that I mean, I'm not like I'm on the phone all the time, but
when are you on the phone to begin with?
Yeah, really. But you know what? It is handy when you need to do that.
If you need to, but can you check email while you're on the phone?
Yes.
Or no?
While you're
not
on a
on
phone
Verizon.
call? No.
Though I will tell you, once Jess called me and said, Sam, I hope you made those reservations. And I said, of course I did, Jess. And while I was talking to her, I was making the reservations.
That's cool. But then the call got dropped because you're on fucking AT&T. I'd rather just hang up with her and go, I'll call you right back. I can't do it
Have you seen
right now.
those horrible commercials for the every time they say that you can use this feature, it's always some forgetful guy who didn't remember to do something, who can't do it when
buy the flowers?
Yeah, shut up.
It's just too true to life.
I'm restarting my phone again.
To say
I'm about to smash it.
Please do.
Facebook.
I've smashed about. I still have. I should bring in my smashed iPhone. Why? What would we do with it? Nothing.
Yeah.
It would be the greatest.
Just to prove.
The greatest non-event this show has ever seen.
Yeah. No, see, I really did smash it. Yeah, Jim.
We know. We believe
you.
Fair enough. On the floor of the London Hotel in LA about 3 years ago. It felt wonderful.
Could have taken a photo. You had to bring it in.
Oh, yeah, I brought it. No, everybody handle it.
Yeah.
All right. So we're listening to this audio.
It's Jackie, Tony, and Donnie. And they're reacting as they're realizing their Facebook is being inundated by Opie and Anthony fans.
It's just they're stupid.
So it's on there. I'm not taking it down. I mean, let them get it out of their system. Let them show who they are. These are their listeners. Let them do what they need to do. But if you see it,
obviously this cut off as it started, but they're talking about the stupid satellite radio listeners that are commenting on their Facebook page.
Yeah.
On there, I just kind of want you to know that it's on there and be forewarned.
How do you think they figured out I was gay? Because they're not even listening to it. They're like, they got some little thing.
Donnie, I don't know what they use. Who cares?
I don't even know.
At least they're keeping a good attitude about the whole thing.
Yes.
That's my favorite part of October is the innocence of the people that are being attacked. They did nothing to deserve an attack of the magnitude that we get. Do you feel bad about that, Jim, or do you like that?
Once in a while I do. Even though it's really funny, so I understand why we do it.
Yeah.
Once in a while I feel like I like to I don't like to bully people. I like to argue with people that are fucking dicks. Fucking aggressive. But it is fun to do this because to me that does wreck radio, and that becomes the standard by which radio is. We're all expected to perform by it. So it is fun to attack them.
I like when it just goes so over the top and like completely uncalled for stuff that it goes past bullying to the point where it's just like, this is just absurd what you're doing.
The fans were saying such mean shit. It was making me laugh a lot. Like, just like these are nice people just doing their dumb radio show and tease them, but like, hey, so and so, she should have an abortion and get raped. It's a harsh man, but it did make me laugh.
This is Jackie now. She talks about
over the top.
How fun it is that a radio war is happening.
Oh, by the way, my fucking Facebook, I'm trying to open an email. It won't open.
Can't open it.
It won't open. Why would it?
Facebook.
Shit.
Goddamn Zuckerberg.
Goddamn him.
You know, it's funny because, back in the day, radio stations, morning shows especially, would go at each other. At each other.
Radio wars.
From a video. I'm trying to pinpoint it. My brain's not working. It's like from like a Wii store or something. It's definitely a video game.
Oh, that's what it sounds like. Yeah.
I can't put my finger on it.
Maybe that's something the O&A show is lacking. A nice friendly bed.
Video
like
game
that.
beds?
We need a fun bed.
It's funny because, back in the day, radio stations, morning shows especially, would go at each other. At
there were
each other.
radio wars.
Like radio wars. This is kind of what it reminds me of. It's a little bit fun, to be honest with you. There's nobody in this town I'd go after. I mean, I've got a BFF sitting on a competing radio station.
A
big
fat something.
Yeah. She says this is kind of fun.
Bean fries.
What? That doesn't even make any sense. I mean, Travis has made a good point right before Chip interrupted, but is it fun, really?
This is really fun.
Then why'd you close your Facebook page down? Is that how fun it was?
PD didn't think it was very fun.
Exactly.
Donnie didn't think it was fun.
We ruined your whole radio show yesterday. It wasn't fun.
No one's ever done an AIDS joke to him, and then he had 200 in a row.
Yeah. This is kind of what it reminds me of.
Our fans go to the point where it's like, okay, we know you're going to try to be a good sport about it, so we need to take it even further to where you couldn't possibly be a good sport.
Where you can't be a good sport anymore. Right. We don't want you being a good sport.
It's not all in good fun. We want your feelings hurt.
A little bit fun, to be honest with you. There's nobody in this town I'd go after. I mean, I've got a BFF sitting on a competing radio station doing mornings,
You guys just text back and forth to each other.
We just text back and forth during the show. So, whatever. I just want to warn you that it is on there. Whatever. Fine, great.
Just don't click on view comments. That's the best thing we can say. I mean, really, if you don't
want to see it.
If you don't want to see it, just don't click on view comments.
If you want to see it, there you go.
If you want to see it or if you don't want to see it. They're not taking a stand on anything.
Yeah.
They're just beating people. And she's talking about her best friend that works at her competing radio station.
But they should have an opinion. That's to be what they do wrong. They don't have to be. They don't want to have to get into a radio, but they should have an opinion on it and say like that sucks or you guys are dicks or.
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to be the obsessively pleasant show? Why can't you have an opinion that's negative? Why can't you go, hey, that sucks. That's where they lose me.
Why don't you call us out on bullying or on being negative?
Just being dicks.
Or, on being repetitive. Anything. Like, there's you don't have to, like you said, you don't have to call us idiots and morons and try to beat us at our own game. But just be honest. Like, there's no honesty in that.
It really is silly because it's annoying. They couldn't possibly like it.
Yeah.
But they are just insisting that it's fun for everyone.
I mean, I didn't know how many O&A listeners there were in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
No.
But there's a ton of people that were like sending me stuff on Twitter and Facebook all day yesterday saying how pleased they were that I had chosen this show and brought it to the table because they had just waited for Jackie, Tony, and Donnie to get destroyed. This is my favorite of the 4 clips because Jackie talks about exactly what the commenters were saying.
But there are some, there are comments. These people are pretty disgusting because there are comments about.
And And you know what's funny is that the listeners will get mad at that. Like, you're disgusting, you pig. It's like, but you guys are disgusting. It's okay.
Never call us disgusting.
Yeah,
Just go for the rest of the day.
You're garbage, and so are we. It's all right.
But there are some, there are comments. These people are pretty disgusting because there are comments about, I'll be honest with you, about AIDS.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first AIDS reference in the history of Jackie, Tony, and Donnie.
I'll be honest about AIDS. She didn't even know how to say it.
Yeah. She couldn't have figured out about different diseases and stuff. She was so flustered by it that she said, I'll be honest about AIDS. You think their typical audience listening right now, it's a pleasant morning show, and Jackie just mentioned AIDS.
This fun zoo crew had to talk about how people are basically wishing AIDS on them on fucking Facebook.
Because what else is it going to be about AIDS? It's either about Donnie having it or wishing it upon somebody. That's our audience.
Yeah, and nobody was talking about AIDS walkathons or help people with AIDS. They knew it was going to be fucking jokes.
Yeah, and these are not helpers. AIDS.
But there are some, there are comments. These people are pretty disgusting because there are comments about, I'll be honest with you, about AIDS, about homosexuality.
Homosexuality.
So great. I'll be honest about AIDS
and homosexuality and how those things tie in, which I agree with, by the way.
Yeah. Honest with you, about AIDS, about homosexuality, pretty sexually violent comments against women.
What happened to the fun morning war you were just talking about 5 seconds ago?
Oh, Jackie.
Sexually violent comments. And you know what? The problem is, she's as accurate as she's ever been in this statement.
That's the most honest thing she's ever said on
We
the
need
air.
to really go and see what some of those sexually violent comments were. Some, it was like, I hope you get punched in the cunt.
Dude, I saw cunt 40 times.
I saw one guy who just kept, every time they made a comment, there was one user that just kept writing vaginal discharge after everything on their page.
AIDS, about homosexuality, pretty sexually violent comments against women. If this is what their show does for fun, that's kind of scary.
It is, and it is.
Yeah. You're very accurate again.
Scary. The behavior they're encouraging, it's pretty scary. So,
for that I have to correct her on. Unless you mean by the behavior that they're encouraging. Now, if you talk about the behavior as far as making fun of you on Twitter or Facebook, their public forums, that's one thing. But don't paint it like anybody is encouraging people to be sexually violent towards women,
right?
Because that literally is an out and out lie. Nobody would encourage that, and I'm not saying that even for legal reasons. But it's like it's fun to goof about the horrible shit, but nobody's encouraging people to rape women or give AIDS to people.
It's what we said it was. It was taking this so far above, beyond good taste that it reaches absurdity. Yeah. And that's what it, like the comments were meant to be taken as absurd, as all of the comments are. Nobody who was actually serious about anything that was said on that Facebook would leave it as a Facebook comment.
Yeah, nobody is really going to put, I'm going to rape a morning jock and then do it.
Somebody suggested that she got her lisp by servicing black gentlemen with her mouth. I don't think that they actually thought that that's how she got it.
The behavior they're encouraging, it's pretty scary. So anyway, it's on there. I just want you to know that it's on there.
I'm more upset they hijacked my Pet Palooza.
I know, right?
I worked so hard on that.
That's really what he's upset about.
Yeah,
You're trying to do something. You're trying to do something and you can't.
And can't.
Yeah, well,
They were trying to do Pet Palooza. One more clip. This is how they I guess, when did we do it? At 9? Yeah, we did around 9, I think, yesterday. So the last hour of their show was kind of trying to deal with this. There was one clip of them trying to give tickets away, but it was just awkward because they refused to go to any phones.
Oh.
Because I guess our listeners just kept calling them and emailing them. So this is how they ended the show yesterday.
65 for a high. We're at 44 right now in Albuquerque. We've made it through the first day.
Oh, thank the Lord.
And here we are.
Tony. An attack on our Facebook page from some satellite Joe.
Do you know most days in the midday shift, my feet are up? I'm watching television. I got to deal with stuff like this. I got some rage going.
Show was rocking, isn't it? Right.
Shit, what is going on?
You know, it would have been fun if it weren't like fighting with 12-year-olds today. All right, so tomorrow we've got more Panic at the Disco tickets and Patrick Stump.
How dare you comment on the maturity of our listeners?
Yeah, that's very insulting. Those are fighting words. But that's the best they can come out with. Oh, these guys are immature.
Yeah, and I also like some satellite radio show as if, well, we're not going to give them the press they want because our mission was to get mentions on the Jackie, Tony, and Donnie show. That's how we need it.
Well, that's that delusional PD shit, the program director. If you're listening to your program director, chances are you're fucking a flop.
Yeah.
Those guys suck. They're cowards.
Well, yeah, that's why every radio show that we feature on Jocktober just about sounds exactly the same. Because they're all listening to their PDs, and all their PDs went to the same management PD seminar and have all the same tips. And that's why there's nothing original happening.
And that's what Opie said, that when him and Ant would, years ago, when Stern would blast them when they were on AF, the fucking dumb program director would go, don't mention it. It's like, of course you got to mention it. This is what are you doing?
Yeah. It's not like anybody listening to Opie and Anthony didn't already know who Stern was. You're not giving him new listeners.
Yeah.
Let's comment on it. If he's commenting on you, if anything, it makes Opie and Anthony look bigger.
And people think just because you mention something, all of a sudden they're going to get new listeners. It doesn't work that way.
And it is one thing if like somebody smaller than you is making comments, you don't want to lower yourself to that level.
Yeah.
But if somebody, because at that point, definitely when they were on AAF, Stern was a lot bigger than Opie and Anthony.
Sure.
So it's not like them mentioning Stern. Like if they hadn't mentioned Stern, nobody would have been confused as to what was the bigger show.
Right.
You know?
Right. And even if it's a smaller show, I'm all for mentioning them. And if people want to go, like when Maxwell was fucking with us a few years ago, he started it. We didn't know who he was. But I don't believe in that. Like, if it's a small show or whatever, hey, if a guy is calling me out publicly, I'm going to address it publicly. We should address it. And, you know, if we're so awful that him insulting us and playing his audio, people are going to go listen to him, then we don't deserve those listeners anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Have at it.
If anyone attacks us and a listener is so on the fence that they go to the person attacking us, hey, man, you won. Take the listener.
Right.
I don't believe that.
Joe in Jersey.
Hey, the best part of with that broad is that while she's sitting there going, well, there was all this bad stuff about homosexuality, they still get the wacky...
Yeah, it's the Wii store. It's the store music when you're browsing for a game.
She's trying to get all serious. Thanks, Joe. She's trying to get all serious. And, yeah, she's got Wii store music going on in the back. Like, really? Are we going to take you seriously?
It's always worse when I'm on the road and I find out, like, shows won't have me on. Probably Jocktober. Yeah, it comes back to bite me once in a while. The trade-off is worth it, though.
It is gutsy for someone in your position to participate as much as you do in Jocktober. I mean, you probably would never have ended up on Jackie, Tony, and Donnie.
No.
But there are shows that we've butchered that you would have been on.
Oh, yeah. And it's funny, I've actually met the rivals that I met. You know, Lex and Terry and us went at it.
Right.
Nasty. And then I did Dallas about a year and a half ago, whenever it was. I'm sure Kenny would remember. And they had wanted to have me on. And I'm like, okay, I figured they were just going to attack me and it was going to get nasty. And I'm like, oh, come on. But as long as we talk about what happened with the Opie and Anthony. Like, I didn't want to go on and not mention the guys. Don't mention the guys. And they were cool. They were like, yeah, fine. Well, of course, we'll address it. And it was like December of 2009. And or January of 2010. And I went on, and they were actually really cool. And they were asking about Satellite, and they didn't have any more issue with O&A, and that was dead and done. And so it was kind of cool to go on and see guys that we had fought with.
Yeah,
and talk to them.
That's the best way for a radio war to end, is to have the two participants actually have some kind of talk to each other.
Yeah.
I mean, and it makes for the best radio.
Yeah, it was, are you looking it up when it was, Kenny?
No.
Oh, okay. Doesn't matter. He's right. Kenny, by the way, if anybody ever seen Kenny write, it's horrendous. His choppy, left-handed print is fucking awful.
His response was just Kenny in a nutshell. Are you looking that up? No.
Oh, okay. I won't mention that. I have a bunch of dates that I'm going to plug, but I won't. Kenny putting out on sale until October 11th, so I won't mention that till next week.
Okay. We were talking also.
It is October 11th.
It is October 11th.
Oh, Kenny. What's going on? What just happened here?
What are you doing?
I made a mistake. It happens sometimes.
Club Soda, I feel like the last time Opie and Anthony were in court, you were like on your A game, and you had your evidence all piled up, and you were ready to go, and now you don't even know what day it is.
Yeah, you really are. Maybe Sandy Kane's right. Maybe you just misled them.
Yeah.
No, I was a little over eager.
So is October 11th when this gig is going on sale, or is that what's wrong? Is it on sale today?
Yes.
Thank you.
Should we plug it then?
I'll do it in a little bit now. The whole fucking show is just
when it's a
spiraled
little
into the
more
toilet.
organic.
Yeah.
Remember that thing that we were talking about earlier?
No, well, this is exciting news about Jim has new dates going on sale.
I wouldn't consider that exciting news.
Yes, it is, and it's exciting. He'll be on the Tonight Show tomorrow.
Let's get to something more exciting, like the Facebook page of this other radio show.
That really was exciting.
Yeah. Tonight Show tomorrow?
Yes.
What are you doing?
Just a segment.
Can you reveal what it is or no?
I've done it before. It's coulda, woulda, shoulda. It's three of us on a panel.
Okay.
It's like it's not my own segment, which is fine.
Yeah,
the
but
fact
you're
they-
very clever when you do it.
Oh, thanks, Ken. I try to hit a home run every time.
Yeah.
But the fact is, they fly me out to do it, so I love doing it. They put me on usually once a month. All right, let's talk about other stuff.
Thank you, Club Soda. What do you got going on today?
I'm going to court in a little while.
What time do you leave?
Soon.
Okay. Thank you, Kenny, for stopping by. Kenny is just a professional and not answering questions.
Yeah, he's just, yeah.
He doesn't realize, like, he's talking into a microphone, so he knows he's on the air, but he will not further a conversation. He refuses.
I answered your question. You asked me, and I answered.
All right, thank
Kenny's
you.
robotic. Now, let me ask you. I don't want to say who it was to. It's just something to do with the travel issue. Were you kidding when you said for health reasons or being sarcastic?
I thought that was a polite way of saying, he's crazy.
Yeah, but that hurts, though, because...
What do you mean for health reasons?
About me flying in the aisle. The reason I like to fly in the aisle, see, it's not to be a prima donna. It's because literally... I fucking panic when I fly so bad. And it used to be like I could only fly Continental. I was obsessed. I would only fly Continental. And now it's like I've flown so much, I'll fly Continental, United, Delta, American. I've kind of gotten a little bit better. But I piss so much that when I'm fucking in a window seat, I begin to feel like I'll literally get up and piss and then sit back down and have to piss again. It's this fucking claustrophobic panic I get, and the whole flight is ruined. But when we deal with NBC, they have their own travel department, and it does everything. And they don't want anybody just being able to book flights because they get discount. So I asked Kenny to email them, but it's like you put that, and it sounds like we're fucking around, and they think that we're just being assholes.
Yeah, but did you see my nice email yesterday? I backed it up with an explanation. I expounded on that.
What I didn't see that. Please forward that to me.
Okay.
Because I had to email them again and go, look, this is what it is. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm being sarcastic with these people. They're fucking around.
No, I put like, you would prefer the aisle seat because you get anxiety, and the feeling claustrophobic. That's what I meant.
That's what you should have put the first time, though. It's like because they take health reasons to fly in the fucking window seat, the aisle seat for health reasons. They're like, what are these assholes talking about? It doesn't make sense.
Well, you remember the one time we wanted to change seats and I told the stewardess you were incontinent?
Yeah, that's funny when it's me and you in the fucking plane. It was very funny, but when I'm dealing with fucking Tonight Show people...
Yeah, the Tonight Show doesn't want to hear you're incontinent.
It's not a fucking place to try out stand-up material. All right. All right. I'm just going to want the other flight booked. All right.
You want me to do that now?
Yeah. So we'll just plug these other things later.
Okay. Are you a Netflix user? That's the other story. We were talking about this.
Yeah, I have it, but
You're on Facebook.
Oh, my God. That was fast.
That only took 30 minutes, and I had to do a hard reset on my phone. And I hate it. I wish I had the old Facebook.
Why?
But the old
because-
Facebook, we were just talking about how much it sucked.
No, because on the phone, you could have favorites. So it was easy to just like go. Oh,
What are favorites like?
just like of different people.
Things
like
you like more than another thing.
like I would have.
like that's what I meant.
He knew that's not what you meant. Sure. Go on, Travis.
I would have, like my wife and Danny and you and Sam and everybody, so that I didn't have to like type in their names and go find them, and I could just go to their pages very quickly.
Why would a phony
Can't do
he
that
is
anymore.
mentioning everyone in the room as his favorites?
Exactly.
I have 3 pages of favorites, all the people I know.
Some of us were not there.
Yeah.
All of you were there, and I can't prove it now because
Believe me,
I
if
have
Opie and Anthony were here, you would have said like you, Ope, and you and Jim and Era. No, I don't have any favorites on my Facebook. I just use it for kind of an email thing.
See, I like to keep tabs on what my friends are doing.
Ugh, I could care less.
James M. Powers.
Yeah.
There's a guy named James M. Powers that this is his first on-air shout out. He's a fan, but we constantly look at his status because he updates all the time, and he says asinine things on it. So Travis and me like to talk to him on his Facebook and comment on his status.
Who is he?
He's just a guy. Look him up.
All right. I don't know who he is.
Just talk about wrestling.
He's very funny. If you're out there, I would look up James M. Powers on Facebook and friend him today because he's a good apple.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Netflix announced they were doing something. We came in, I'm like, what is Quickster? I don't know what it means.
Basically, Netflix first, what they did was, what first got them in trouble was they separated their DVD, because it used to be...
Well, the plan was to separate it.
They had DVDs, and they had these, this is how much it costs, and with every subscription you got free streaming. Then they decided to separate it into two costs. So streaming was what, $7.99?
I think so, yeah.
And then the DVDs you still had to pay for, same price. So everybody's subscriptions went up significantly.
Yeah, almost doubled, right?
Right. And so people got upset about it. So then they said their solution to everybody being upset and their stock going down was to separate their company. So Netflix would just be the $7.99 streaming service. And then this thing, Quickster, would be, if you're ordering DVDs through the mail, you do it through Quickster.
Right.
And then everybody said, nobody even knew what they were talking about anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody was confused and everybody hated the name Quickster.
It sucks.
Because it's like a 90s Napster takeoff. Like, it's not new, it's not relevant, it's nothing.
Friendster.
Right. His stir is gone. It's finished. It's Brian Setzer. It's done. But now they are going back to calling them both Netflix and not separating it.
Yeah, it's like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
You fucking had it. Why are you getting greedy?
You know what? I just don't think it's. I don't think it's greed. It's, you know, when people had their 2 DVD and 3 DVD subscriptions, and it was like, oh hey, here's streaming. Everybody was like, cool, thanks. But it takes a lot of money to stream that amount of data all
Right.
across the country and stuff. So, you know, prices, you had to assume at some point prices are going to rise. And at the same time, the business model for Netflix has changed. This isn't a company that gives you DVDs by mail anymore. That's not what this company is. This is a streaming entertainment company that still does DVDs by mail.
Well, the problem with Netflix, though, is that this whole thing, like the reason that I think they look stupid now is it has nothing to do with the money anymore. It did at first.
No, they look silly because they panicked and they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, because they obviously don't have a plan. Right. Like they're just going for whatever. And a company that's as big as Netflix has become cannot be run by a guy who doesn't say, okay, we're going to raise the price. Before you raise the price, before this announcement was even made, they should have had, this is exactly where we're going. Not every 2 weeks come up with a new plan because the stock is plummeting. They had to assume that the stock would go down because regardless of, you know, they're going to have to eventually raise prices. The business is changing. When your bill goes up 80, 90%, whatever it was,
ridiculous.
People are going to cancel their service.
Yeah.
People are going to get upset because they don't want an 80, 90% increase just on a whim.
Fine, but you can't, at the same time, you can't have, your cake and eat it too. If you're going to want, 3 DVDs rotating in your mailbox as well as streaming on 3 or 4 different mobile devices,
and honestly,
that costs something.
Most of the DVDs, they just sit by people's TVs.
Yeah.
They're not rotating.
I have DVDs that literally for 6 months, and I get they have to raise the prices, but don't they save money on the shipping too? If people are using streaming and not ordering DVDs, doesn't that probably save? Doesn't it come out in the wash where they save the money on the shipping?
The DVDs just sit in front of the TV.
Maybe shipping, but I mean, every movie that comes out, they have to order thousands of DVDs. So I mean, there's a huge cost involved there.
I mean, they could.
Right? No, but it's not saving the money if they stream. Isn't that saving the money?
Well, there's bandwidth. I mean, you got to put that on a server. There's it costs Netflix money to move that data. To
Right.
you. That's there's bandwidth fees. It must be ridiculous.
And they're also constantly signing deals with more and more.
Oh yeah, like exclusive content. Like they just signed. Didn't they just sign something maybe
They
about
just
6
signed
months
DreamWorks.
ago with CBS or whatever? They had like the entire TV archive of CBS.
That's
big money deals. That's big
if
money.
Netflix was a smart company, they would say, we are raising the prices. Here's the good news. All these studios have just been signed. Not, it's the same product, it just costs more.
See, I hate Netflix on my fucking. I have it on the PlayStation 3, but it annoys me because I'll like try to fucking find. I can't get out of the cunty search menu.
Well, hang on.
I don't know how to do it.
We're talking about two different things. Netflix is Netflix, but if you want to start talking about the PS3 navigation menu, that's a whole nother topic.
It stinks, right?
It
does.
It's the worst.
But like, I can't get
right here. Netflix is estimated to be paying DreamWorks $30 million per picture to put it on their service. So, I'm sorry, people, but where's that money coming from?
I'm not saying they shouldn't raise prices.
I'm just saying that the people that were upset that this company had the balls
it's almost like
to raise their prices.
it's like the Wall Street protesters. It's like, I want all this stuff, but I don't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
But you can't give something for free for years and then charge for the same product. If they had improved the product and said,
but they are improving the product.
No. They didn't improve the product when they announced the price increase. Saying,
but see, here's the thing:
if I felt like I was getting something more for my money than I was before,
I think their improvements are so incremental that, this week you'll see that they signed DreamWorks, and then a couple weeks later they made this deal.
Like iTunes, for instance, iTunes isn't going to launch until everyone's signed. Then we'll launch. Like Netflix has enough money to float for a little while at least. If they wait until everyone's signed, don't put them available yet. Wait until everyone's signed, then push it out. We have all these new movies. It's going to cost, but we have everything now. Then that makes sense to me.
Or at least just don't try to break it up into two separate.
Oh, well, I think that was
the two separate things. Yeah, that was
ridiculous.
Stupid.
You're never going to have everything. It's
Quiz
never going
show.
to happen.
You mean people don't want to go to two separate websites?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any...
No.
All it does... All it did was make me want to... Like, when they announced the Quickster thing, that's when I said, okay, it's time to cancel my DVD part of this.
Yeah.
Like, all that does is decrease business.
Yeah,
because they're like, now that it's really separate, I'm not going to have two movie services. I'll just stick with the Netflix. It's cheaper.
We've had this argument before, but I mean, I don't even understand the purpose of getting a DVD in the mail anymore. I mean,
they don't have
not
everything
for me.
streaming.
I hear you, but they
Quiz
don't
show.
have. I hear you. Quiz show, great.
And a lot of people might
keep
not
trying to
have
watch
good
Quiz Show.
Wi-Fi. A lot of people's Wi-Fi
Yep.
might not be that great. But I wonder why. I wonder if they actually want to phase the DVD mailing part out anyway. Eventually.
Yeah, I would think so.
I assume they do because, I mean, the DVD market itself is just declining year after year after year.
Blu-ray didn't catch on, right? Like, I have Blu-ray.
It did for a little bit, but even Blu-ray sales are declining as well
Yeah.
because
It's all streaming.
It's all streaming. It's all digital delivery.
Yeah, and people don't even... I feel like people buy Blu-rays now if they come with a digital copy.
Yeah, oh,
like for a
absolutely,
Blu-ray, like for
yeah.
me to buy a Blu-ray, it's got to come with the iTunes copy.
Well, laptops and computers have never don't deal with Blu-ray, so Blu-ray's kind
Well,
of...
laptops. Some laptops do. Apple
Mac
won't.
doesn't,
Apple
yeah.
won't do.
Why,
it.
then why would they?
Steve, well, he
Why?
was very adamant that he thinks Blu-ray is a fad, and in a sense,
He's
I agree
right.
with him. So he's like, "Why am I going to put, just this incremental update into all of my machines when in a couple of years it's going to be done?" Which has got a point.
Jim in Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 2 points about this Netflix thing. First off, I had the streaming and the DVD plus Blu-ray, right?
Yeah.
And,
Jim, you had it all.
I had it all, but then you can't just increase the price that much instantly. Like,
Right.
me out here.
Yeah.
I would have been okay if they bumped it up like $1 here and then, a year later to $1. That type of price increase is the way companies normally do it. That's how they slide it in. You don't even notice.
So, Jim, what were you paying, and what should you have been paying now?
I was doing the streaming, and I had a single DVD plus a month plus the Blu-ray. So that's like an extra couple dollars they charge you for the Blu-ray, I think.
So this is what, like $13?
Yeah, $14-15. So then
Plus add 9 to it.
It wasn't even that much. No, it was like $11.99 or $10.99 or something.
Okay.
That's almost 100% increase then.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's big.
They should have been smarter about the way they did it.
Yeah.
Because people complain about series if it goes up $1 or $2. People can afford it, but nobody likes to see a monthly bill going up. It just annoys them.
Especially at that percentage, 100% almost increase.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy. I got rid of the DVD part, and that was it. So now I'm just going to go steal shit. They want to do it, play a game like that. That's the way it'll go.
I don't want to shit where I eat, but I could think of another company that did a little something like that, where you were getting something for free, and then they decided, well, you know what? Now we're going to charge you for it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, look, this happens. It happens, but you have to understand. But you have to understand why it happens, because the market changes. All right, people used to have these radios in their car and all that stuff, but your listening habits shift, and now you can get on every mobile device imaginable, let alone your computer. So now that's where the shift is, and it's happening with satellite radio, and it happens with video medium too. This is where entertainment's coming from. No, physical media is no more. Physical media is done.
A company has to be a little more creative than just jacking up the prices 100%. I mean, that's not how to run a company.
I'm not a CEO, and I never will be. I can't tell you. But
I am of Eat a Bullet Incorporated. And I can tell you, incremental increases are the way to go, Dan.
I don't have like the 3 DVD thing with Netflix because I just don't care about having the physical discs. But even if I did, and the price went up, I wouldn't care, and it's not because of the money. It's just that, like, I understand how much it takes to do all of this, and it does cost money. I'm not this guy. I don't expect to have, the entire DreamWorks catalog streaming into my phone for free, just because I think I should have it. All these things cost money. There's a lot of deals involved, and these things cost a lot of money, and if the price has to go up, I understand.
I don't mind the price increase either. I just think the way they did it was dumb because I noticed it. And I never care about shit like that. But it became obvious, like, ugh. And when you lose 1 million subs, that's a lot of fucking people. And they should have done it smarter and taken the money slower, and they wouldn't have lost 1 million people.
Yeah,
that's a lot of people.
Either you do it slowly, or you charge for apps, or you add a whole bunch more content that you didn't have before.
One of the mistakes, Manny from the Cellar, when
for instance, Quiz Show,
told me years ago, the mistake people make is when times are in the toilet, they raise prices to get more. And it's stupid. You can't try to make up your money by overcharging people. Like, in economic times, they're not good. You should keep them the same or lower them a little bit, and then people will fucking stay with you instead of canceling your service.
There's a guy, his name is Gerg. I guess there's no way it's Greg. Surely it's Gerg.
I was going to hang up on him altogether.
I'm just curious to hear what he has to say.
Greg in Pennsylvania.
Hello, Gerg.
Gerg.
How's it going?
What's up, buddy?
What's up, Gerg? Talk.
Yeah, we recently purchased Blockbuster.
The whole company?
Yeah, it's actually not that much.
But they canceled Netflix, and the money that they saved, they were able to purchase Blockbuster.
No, the company I work for, we purchased Blockbuster.
Okay.
And stocks have gone up, a little bit, but we used to ship DVDs by mail, and now with Blockbusters, they're, doing the whole rent through the mail type thing. And,
okay, but you're saying that it's better than Netflix, and I'm wondering how or is it better?
Well, since Netflix made that change, then and Blockbuster was still simple. There's not a whole lot of people, well, at least in this hillbilly area, I guess, streaming video.
And that's the thing that people don't realize, that streaming, just because it is where it is here, doesn't mean it's there across the country. And you can't stream it. DVDs are far from dead.
Sure,
physical media is not dead yet.
But if you're gonna criticize Netflix for not having a game plan and not having a vision, or there's no way you could defend Blockbuster against it. I mean, their response to Netflix was kiosks across the country. I mean, to say that Blockbuster is doing anything better than Netflix, I mean, that you're a joke.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
No, not better. They just kept the original cheap 3 video contract.
All right, it says on the screen, Blockbuster DVD service better than Netflix.
Yeah, but I mean, Blockbuster is obviously in the toilet. It's not better than anyone. Kevin in New Hampshire.
Hey, guys. Yeah, I think Netflix made a tremendous blunder. Travis, I think your points are a little naive. Yes, the
Travis or Danny?
Which one?
Danny.
I'm sorry, I thought it was Travis. It's Danny. Danny, I think your points are tremendously naive. Yes, there are great costs for delivering the service, but you also have to look. That's going to be a variable cost. I don't know if you ever took accounting. The more subscribers you have,
in radio.
The more subscribers you have, the less it costs per subscriber to deliver those movies. And they've lost.
Well, that's not necessarily true. When a Starz deal previously was $20 million and the Starz deal now is $200 million, we're talking about additional cost.
Right, that's fine. So it makes it even more important to hold on to your subscribers so you can divide that $200 million by a large number of subscribers. They alienated their subscribers. They should have understood the market, that there are other options for people to go to.
Where? What are they? Are there?
Yeah, absolutely. I ended up getting the HBO, Netflix, HBO, Cinemax,
Go?
all that stuff for $10 a month, and now I have
you pay $10 to have HBO wherever you go.
Get this, they lowered my price. I called them up because there was a problem with the cable. They actually looked at my plan and they said, we can save you money and give you all this stuff. So now I have all those things. If there's a hot movie that I want to get, I can go onto Redbox.com and I can find the kiosk where it's located.
So, and then you leave your house, you go out to your local 7-Eleven.
Yeah, and I pick it up for $1.
Well, you know what? I don't want to do that. That we're talking about different markets. I would never want to do that.
Yeah, dude. What you're talking about? Hold on, sir. Sorry, what you're talking about?
Your market.
Sir, what you're talking about? Even if you're right financially, I wouldn't want to do that either. Like part of it is.
And Jimmy, get me. I understand that, and there's so much content available for free. That I was offended by the way Netflix approached me as a customer.
Why? Because you said, fuck you, Netflix, I'll just download it for free?
It takes... No, I don't download movies illegally. But what they did is they alienated their customers. There are two ways you can price things. You can either go and look at what it costs to deliver and determine your margin and charge that price, or you can go to what the market will bear. They were trying to go to what the market will bear, and they were wrong.
I think that he's right at least about the point where Netflix fucked up where they wouldn't be reversed. The way they handled it is they were doing so well, and if you have to raise prices to do it like this and then rename it, they obviously blundered, and they knew they blundered, and now they blundered again, and they're just going, fuck it, let's just cut our losses. They're going to raise the prices now, right? But they're just going to keep it all as Netflix.
Yeah. But to say that there's like a viable alternative to Netflix, I don't agree there.
I think Amazon Prime is really...
Netflix was the best service anywhere, no question about it. It was a great product, but the way they treated their customers, you can't treat your customers that way.
Yeah, but every company treats their customers like shit.
They do like hell. They do like hell. There are great companies out there who are honest with their customers, who will try to fit the needs of their customers because they understand it costs a lot more to get a new customer than it does to retain the customers they already have.
And I'll tell you too, like as far as thinking it's the only game in town, like iTunes is like the only game in town, but like for a long time MySpace felt like the only game in town, and then Facebook came, and this is not a financial thing, and smashed it. Like something is going to come along.
But the
maybe it won't be
difference,
Blockbuster.
the difference between MySpace and Facebook is that there wasn't any exclusive contracts going on, you know, as far as content goes. So.
Yeah, but it's a bad. Companies have done it before, and it never works out. Like when you get exclusive contracts, and then you start jacking up subscriptions by almost 100%.
When you lose 1 million fucking subs, that's a lot of people to lose, and it showed in the market. Their fucking stock is down from. They had a price increase, which should have increased stock a little bit because they're making more money. The stock went down from 3 something they were telling me today to 100 something.
Yeah, $1.11.
Yeah.
I mean that's fucking a drastic mistake.
I mean, if you end up, you know, they run the risk of making less money because of all the subscribers that they're losing.
Yeah.
With the increase.
And all those people, eventually, all you're doing is you're giving these other competing companies who never would have had a shot
time to catch up.
1 million fucking people.
Yeah.
Look at the XM Series thing.
Sure, but here's a guy. This guy says he canceled Netflix, went with Redbox and Zune on the Xbox 360. Now, that's all well and good if that works for you. If you feel like going to your local Redbox and picking up a DVD for a day for $1, that's great, and I'm glad that works for you. And if you feel that Zune gets everything that you want on your 360, that's great too, and I'm glad that that solution works for you. But for a guy like me, I have mobile devices, I have Netflix everywhere. I like the fact that I could, be anywhere with a Wi-Fi connection, get into my Netflix. I can't do that with Zune. I can't just, let me run out so I can get, let me see where the closest Redbox is so I can get a DVD.
People like the convenience,
It's
but there's
different.
There's more people.
But you can't compare Netflix
They
to
don't
Redbox.
like getting fucked around.
They're not direct competitors. They're not. And we need to stop treating them like they are.
There are people that don't like getting fucked with, and they felt like Netflix was fucking with them.
And but that's not to say
should.
Sure, and you know what? If Netflix takes the hit at the moment, I mean, because the feeling is still there. That bad vibe feeling is still there. And when that goes away, Netflix will still be on top, and they'll have more deals, and they'll be in more devices than ever. They're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. They're too big and they have too many deals, and they've been in the business long enough. I'm not going to say to know what they're doing, because obviously they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, they made some big mistakes.
But you know what? So does every company. Look, Apple was in the toilet back in the early 90s, you know, and every company go through their ebb and flow. And this is just that big transition. You're seeing a real big problem that a lot of companies, I think, are going to start having because they don't know how to make that transition from physical media to digital delivery. And I think the next thing that you're going to see is, video games. I think that's going to be the next, hey, what the fuck sort of thing, where people start getting really pissed off about prices.
Yeah, well, absolutely. $60. What is it?
Well, they're
$60
already doing that
for a
with
game?
now you've got to pay to play online, and you've got your access codes and all that shit
But
that
that's
used to
what it
be
is.
free.
Yeah, exactly. When you start charging people for stuff that used to be free because costs have gone up, you're going to get people who are upset and won't pay for it.
Unless the product is a lot better. Like if the bandwidth it makes the product better.
And that's why it's the same thing Netflix should have done. Add more content if you're going to charge.
Right.
Because otherwise it's the
aren't they
same
adding more
thing.
content?
But they're doing that too.
But they don't do it when the price increases.
Sam only wants new content when there's new prices.
No. I want the new I'm not going to pay for something if I get it later. I'll pay for something when I get it.
But I'm saying, like, in the last year, Netflix has signed so much stuff, and they didn't raise any prices, and then they did.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't give us stuff for free saying we're going to charge you for it later. They gave it for free. It was free.
They should have just done it differently. It's obvious they should have done it differently because it cost them a tremendous amount in stock, and it cost them a lot of people. If people wouldn't be reacting this way, if they had done it right, and they did a lot of things right, they fucked up. They didn't do it right.
So then would you rather the next time they sign a big studio, your bill goes up 50 cents?
No, but nowhere is almost 100% increase a month.
Yeah,
considered a good move.
I'm not saying that was a good move. I'm just saying that they have been building up this library.
But if you can't afford to give it for free, then don't hold off and charge people and say this is what you're paying for. Or not. I'm paying now for something that was free.
So then you want like the 2012 update to you just want them to hold all their new deals.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Until yeah, Daniel,
you're welcome. or go $1 or $2. I think people can handle that a lot more than they can handle the other.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. I have a Redbox down the block from me at like a 7-Eleven, and I see people that go to it, and I don't know why you would go to the Redbox.
I hate that Redbox.
I don't understand it. I just don't get it. I don't get it, and I don't understand why
the Redbox.
Why people.
You know why?
Well, people say, "Fuck this! I'm canceling Netflix. I'm just going to go to Redbox." It's completely different services.
Because believe it or not, there are people. We are one end of a spectrum where you are obsessed with digital media and you are in that age and I mean you're 30 years old in 2011 and then there's guys that are our parents' age who don't care. They just want to watch a movie here, they want to watch a movie there. So for them,
fine, but those aren't
$1 to watch a movie.
I agree,
makes
but
a lot more sense.
Those aren't the people canceling Netflix and going fuck you. I'm gonna use Redbox.
But I'm saying that there is a specific type of person that just wants to use Redbox or just wants to
or they don't have Wi-Fi. They just have a DVD player plugged into a TV.
Yeah, their Wi-Fi.
You know who uses Redbox? Daniel Bobo Curlin. He's the perfect person to be using a Redbox.
Well, probably. I mean, there are people who still use DVD instead of streaming.
I gotta piss.
Yeah, I was about to say we should break. Are you gonna travel?
I'll stay for a little bit. I'm so annoyed about this.
The phones are lit. Everybody wants to talk about Netflix.
Yeah, but they're all saying the same thing.
Are they?
Yeah. What else is there to say? Either you agree or you disagree. I mean, we said it. It's done.
It's true.
You want to go pee?
I have to piss badly.
You want to watch something on Netflix during the break?
Only if you have a DVD player.
And now let me just plug this in case I decided to come back, which I think I will. October 20 through 22, I'll be at the Pittsburgh Improv. November 3 through 5, New Brunswick, the Stress Factory. November 11, 12, the Brokerage in Long Island. I'm finally doing a Long Island gig. And November 18, 19, Comedy Zone in Harrisburg. And then fucking Baltimore, December 1, 2, and 3. Magooby's Joke House. That goes on sale today.
So go see Jim.
Please.
He'll be in your area. And E-Rock, I'm going to hit something in here. We'll be back with more of this.
Get up, folks. It's Jim and Sam on the Morning Jam.
Eating an energy wrap. Fucking peanut butter in my mouth. Love this stupid thing now.
The energy wraps? What's in them?
Energy? Yeah, energy really. It's a wheat wrap with peanut butter, granola, and mule cum. It's delicious.
And raisins.
Raisins, yeah.
Did you mention raisins?
I didn't.
It's the Opie and Anthony show minus Opie and Anthony because they're being dragged back to court by Sandy Kane herself.
Are you right?
That's right, Sandy. I guess she said that she got the wrong date or something the first time they summoned her or whatever.
Wrong time.
Wrong time. And somehow that worked, so...
I don't believe it.
I know, Sandy. But they're back there dealing with that. Luckily, you won't have to ever again because she surely won't be back here. Jim, you're very excited about the Ace Frehley book I see that you have there.
Yes, I am. I got it yesterday, and Roland brought me another copy today. We have Ace coming in. I have to read it.
Who's your favorite Kiss member we've had?
Ace Frehley.
He's your favorite, and he's your favorite to talk to as well.
I only talked to Paul once. Let me finish. I'm just trying to get this last bit of I have peanut butter in my mouth and granola, so there's no way I can even suck it down quietly.
What's important that you stay energized. I want you to. I mean, that's my priority. So if I need to, if I need to give you a few more minutes, I give you a few more minutes.
Ace became my favorite member. When I was a kid, it was Gene and Paul, but then Ace became.
Why?
Because he had the biggest real fuck you attitude, like for real, and he was just so laid back and cool. He was just a cool fucking guy.
Does the has the Gene Simmons sort of product stuff turned you off at all? You don't care?
No, not at all, because it was probably that product stuff that made Kiss the band they were in the 70s, like with the comic book and all that stuff. Like, people just didn't know that it was Gene pushing it. Because, again, there wasn't all these fucking reality shows where you could see that this is how things happened. But all that Kiss dolls, Kiss cards, all that shit came, I think, probably because the band, or at least him, looked at it that way.
Yeah.
So I can't resent him for it now.
Is this the first time Ace Frehley has put out a book? Wow. I would have assumed they would have put one out a long time ago.
Yeah, I think so. Ace is kind of like fucking hangback guy, like, what the fuck, fuck this.
Yeah. And then you just realize there's a lot of money to be made that he's just sitting back on, so why not put the book out?
Yeah, I love him. So he's become my favorite member of Kiss, and he was the hardest one to meet.
He was great on the show.
He was, and I get to talk to him here, and then after my fucking Boneyard show.
Is that weird, after you interview somebody, then go and interview them again for another show?
No.
Do they ever care?
No, they love it. It's a different channel. It's more, and they've also had a half hour, 40 minutes here with me. Like Sebastian and Duff I knew, and Ace I kind of know from here. So no, they like the fact that you're talking to somebody comfortable and it's conversational on another show.
Are the interviews different than what goes on here?
Yeah, we don't usually cover the same stuff. Sometimes I will.
Ooh.
Sorry, my Diet Coke.
My.
But so I'll tell them something. We may cover a little of the same ground, especially if it's a book and you want to hit certain points.
Yeah.
But with Duff, I think, and Sebastian, I covered totally different stuff because they're very easy to talk to.
Because I said in DJ Who Kid interviewed Duff McKagan for Shade 45, and like the level of unawareness was amazing. He goes, I was reading your book, and when you were with Guns N' Roses, you were talking about all the drugs and alcohol you were doing. I didn't know that was going on. I was like, what?
Well, plus that's for his. Don't forget for his audience.
I know
his audience, primarily a black audience. They might not be as familiar with Guns N' Roses.
And if Who Kid comes off like a GNR expert, they're going to be like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah. So it also, I think it helps. He's also talking from the point of view of his audience, like where they know who this guy is, but they don't probably know a lot about him. It's like when we interviewed T.I. He's coming in next week. Everybody knows who he is, but I don't know much about him. We have to I'll do some research.
Have you gotten a picture with him?
Yes. He turned me down for the first time.
I remember in D.C.
But I got him when he was here. He was fine.
Okay.
So I'll get him to sign it.
Yeah, he was here. He was out of jail for no time. He was here for a day, right after he got out of jail the first time. And then like 2 weeks later, he's back in jail.
Yeah, he didn't last. Is he still in jail?
No, he's out now. He just got out of the halfway house.
It was for drugs, right? Or pot or something?
Yeah, I think he had ecstasy in his car and might have been some scissor, some codeine. He
really doesn't learn. He got out of jail last year, and a week later he was back in, and then he got out of jail this year, and like a week later he was right back in.
Yeah. I mean, it is amazing.
Get a limo driver. Get a driver, and then don't have any cocaine or a gun. Just fucking have somebody else hold your gun.
Yeah.
Give a guy $20,000 a fucking month to hold your gun.
In a different car.
Yeah, you should be in a different car, because that's how they got Lil Wayne.
Why?
He didn't have the gun on him. I think he was in the shower of his bus or something, and they found the gun on the bus.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're in the car.
Yeah,
it's not necessarily they have to prove possession. They can't prove who's the owner of the bus. How did the fuck unless his friends do? I'm talking a lot.
You should.
That energy rap really works. Holy shit, that energy rap really works. What's in that thing? Fucking coke. But if he's on the bus, how could they prove possession unless one of his guys threw him under the bus? Because literally, you could get a tour bus and the driver could have a gun and you're responsible? No.
Well, I think his manager even said that's my gun, and they didn't believe him or something.
Fingerprints?
Maybe there were prints on it. I don't know.
I like to agree and burp talk.
Burps, yeah. When you, also I guess we're at the point now where at the Wall Street march that the celebrities are now going in like a lot.
Oh, good. I'll go down there. Get some pictures.
Oh, it sounded like you were going to join them. Like, oh yes, us celebrities are going to be down there.
What would I say?
I heard driving in this morning that Russell Simmons, Susan Sarandon,
the same cast of characters,
and Kanye West were all down on Wall Street yesterday. I mean,
Russell brought Kanye.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he wanted to show him what was going on.
Show him what?
I don't know.
Kanye
walked through real quick and then left.
Well, yeah, because he's not going to hang out with a bunch of protesters.
No.
He's Kanye West, motherfucker.
I think Russell Simmons tweeted that he was so proud of Kanye's tolerance towards the crowd. Whatever that means.
Why? Because Kanye West is just going to flip out on them for no reason?
Yeah. I've had enough of Kanye West. He's really talented, but enough of the coddling of this guy.
Just awarding human behavior. Like, this is how you are expected to behave in society.
I meant, by the way, when I saw Russell Simmons, this is why people, I've harped on this before, but why I get photos is people really, did I talk about Sugar Ray Leonard?
Yeah, no. You talked to Troy me off the air.
This is why I just get photos of people and I don't acknowledge them really as people. Because they don't acknowledge me as, they don't give a fuck. Russell I've interviewed a couple times here, and I see him at an HBO premiere. He's polite, but I know he doesn't remember me, or if he does, it's meaningless. And I'm here recently because Sugar Ray Leonard and Hugh Jackman are doing a project. I've done Leno with Hugh Jackman, and we had Sugar Ray on for 40 minutes and gave him a great interview.
I mean, he almost cried on our interview.
Almost cried. And I had a photo with each one of them. So I was like, I'll just get them to sign the picture. I don't need another picture. Neither one of them recognized me. Like, Hugh Jackman was like, oh, where's this for? Like, it's of no value to them.
Tonight Show, I did it with you.
Which is fine, but then I was like, and they weren't rude. Like, Sugar Ray was nice, but there was not an ounce of recognition.
I was about to say that people probably ask you to sign pictures, but you don't work with them.
I've had a million fans ask me to sign them. I almost never remember them. But you're right, we're not working together.
Yeah.
But I've also met radio guys who I had no recollection of meeting. Like, I was on your show, so I understand how that happens. That's why these guys weren't being dicks.
Yeah.
But that's why I look at them the way I do.
You don't kid yourself into thinking that even if you do end up having a conversation, that it means anything.
I don't delude myself into thinking it means a fucking... Like, will Ace remember me if I see him outside by face? No way.
But...
By name, no. Hey, there was a birthday cake. It was an asshole with a log of shit sticking out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That he'll remember.
But are there any celebrities, because as obsessive as you are about pictures, are there no celebrities that you would want to have an interaction with just for yourself? Like, for me, like, even more than having taking a picture with a celebrity, I would rather have some kind of, even if it's 5 minutes, just a real conversation with them. They certainly won't remember ever having it.
Like who?
But just for me?
Yeah.
Like when I interviewed Bret Hart at Comic-Con, and he talked to me after the interview for like 20 minutes and had a real conversation with me about stuff.
Yeah.
That was way more important than any photo I'd ever gotten with him or anything. Now, I saw him at a signing, and he might have sort of remembered my face from somewhere, but he didn't remember the conversation.
Yeah.
But just having the conversation for me was, reward in and of itself.
Yeah, I agree. Usually once I have the photo, then I can relax and enjoy the other stuff. But if I just had a conversation and they walked away, I'd be like, fuck, why did I get a picture?
So, like, say Ozzy, before you had a picture with Ozzy, if you got to have a 15-minute conversation with Ozzy, and then he left without taking a picture, you'd rather have just taken a picture?
Nah, I don't know, maybe, because a picture's something to kind of have and to put up in your house, and you can always look at it and go, oh, yeah. The conversation is one of those things that the other person doesn't give a fuck anyway.
Yeah, but it's a memory. It's like...
Yeah, I guess you're
I know
right.
you can't physically look at it, but it
it's a tough
happened.
question. I don't know. It's a tough question.
What about you, Travis? Is there anybody... Like, Travis is funny because he's like...
Is it queer for Pearl Jam?
No.
I was going to bring up Eddie Vedder during this.
I was going to ask you about Courtney Love.
Oh.
Travis is... has that ever been addressed on the air?
Yeah. No.
Was? Not really so much anymore?
No, not really so much. I think it's been fleetingly mentioned. I used to be obsessed with her.
He's been to...
Oh, yeah.
How many Courtney Love signings did you go to?
Signings?
Yeah, didn't you say you went and didn't you get like 3 pictures with her at a signing or something?
Oh, that's when she was hosting like 24 Hours on MTV.
Okay.
And yeah, I sat out there.
And you had to get more than one picture just in case?
Well, I got a picture with her. This is the second time I got a picture with her. I originally sat outside Howard's studio where we used to be at K-Rock in 98. Yeah, in 98 when she was doing Howard.
Wow.
And I got a picture there.
Was there people waiting for her?
Like 30 people maybe. Yeah.
She stopped and took pictures?
Yeah, she was very nice. She's always been really nice. I've met her like 3 times and she's always been really nice. But yeah, so I got a picture with her outside MTV and I didn't bring anybody with me, so I took the picture myself. Went home, immediately went to like Walmart and developed the disposable camera. Saw that the picture wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. Went back into the city to MTV to get another picture.
Like, why didn't you just go in this? Why'd you leave the city at all?
Well, because I had to go home at some point. She was there for 24 hours.
Oh, 24 hours.
Yeah, she was doing like a hosting.
Did she remember you the next day?
No.
Well, see, that's the thing for me too. I think that there's a greater likelihood that a 5 to 10 minute conversation will have an impact on the person than just taking a picture with them. And so a lot of times, like, I look at a picture of me and a celebrity, and at first it's exciting, and then after a while I'm just like, who cares?
But there's no impact. I interviewed Sugar Ray for 40 minutes. I read the book. I knew everything about him. I asked him good questions, and he liked it. He had fun. I made him laugh.
Yeah.
I always like when I can make guys who I like laugh. They don't give a fuck.
But
they don't remember. They don't give a shit.
But you never look at the pictures that you have as, like, empty?
They, in a way, they are, but at least they're a fun thing. I can at least, to me, the visualization of it is more of a memory. I'm not saying it's not empty, the photos. I'm not saying that these photos mean more, but I know that the other person, to them, the conversation is meaningless. And I would almost rather have both of us have an equally meaningless interaction, which is a photo, than me thinking something means something that actually doesn't.
Do you think they would rather have a conversation with you or just take the picture and get it over with?
Depends on where and when. That's a very, very...
Because I've met people, you know, out in the lobby when we want to get pictures taken, and they'll start talking to me.
Yeah.
And I'm completely not ready for that.
Like Leah Thompson.
Yeah, like there are some celebrities who are genuinely nice and they want to talk to you and they want to just have a quick conversation with you. And I'm not ready for that. I'm just expecting to take a picture and be on my merry way.
You got no material.
No, I'm not ready.
I think there's some celebrities that would rather be treated like a human being and have a conversation.
Absolutely. Well, that's what I was going to bring up about Eddie Vedder. He really doesn't take a lot of pictures, and when people ask him, he's like, no, let's just have, I'd rather talk to you. I'd rather have a quick conversation, shake your hand, than, you know, turn it into this big, you know, I'm a celebrity, let's take pictures type thing.
But will he take a picture after the conversation?
Generally, when he's coming out from like a show or something, no, because there's so many people waiting for him. He'll sit there, he'll shake everyone's hand, he'll say hi to everybody, but he won't take pictures with anybody.
See, that's a mental note for me. If I ever get a chance to meet Eddie Vedder, I just have somebody on the side with a camera, and I'll be like, hey, Eddie, you got time to just talk for a second? And then have somebody take a picture of us talking.
And that's because he doesn't want to get, that's not him being a dick. He doesn't want to get bogged down with 200 photos.
He doesn't want to be an asshole, and he'd rather look at you and have a conversation than turn it into this giant, you know, I want a picture, I want a picture, I want a picture.
Yeah, it becomes too much.
What about you, Sex Bagel Eric? Eric is obsessed with pictures and autographs. Like I've been in your apartment, Jim, but Eric's apartment is like covered in signed stuff.
I don't have that much. I have some. I don't have that many pictures showing. I have a few. Like, you know, in my apartment. I have to find a better thing to do with them. They just go in these little books.
Like, do you prefer, Eric, having something signed or a picture, something you can look at, or actually getting to have an interaction with them?
Something I can look at. Like, getting the photo is nice, but if I can get the poster or a cover or something that I could frame and put with something together to kind of make it sort of like, I guess you want to call it art that I can hang up on the wall, I'd rather have that.
It's just interesting that you admire these people and obviously enough to put them up on your wall, but you don't really care about having a conversation.
Because I know they don't care about having one with me. I know they don't, because I'm also a performer, so I know that there are conversations I have that I value, and there are some that I forget the second they're over. But there are people I remember, but I know that I'm not going to be one of the memorable ones, because I think sometimes when I know people are trying to say something that's going to impact me, a lot of times it's not going to happen. So why am I any different?
Yeah,
Nothing I say is going to mean a fucking thing.
I think it's a mistake to try to have an impactful conversation or say that one thing but to just have to me, I don't know, just having a casual conversation with somebody like that and seeing them as a human being is like, that's the number one thing for me.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to talk to him about. It's almost like if they've seen me perform, like Jerry Cantrell, I didn't get a photo with him when I did the Gene Simmons roast. I kind of regretted that because he's kind of a legendary guy. And then we saw him at the Hard Rock, and he knows who I am, and he's like, hey, I want to come. And he wound up coming down to the Comedy Cellar. I picked him up at his hotel.
That's awesome.
And we hung out, and that's a different thing. Like, that's a guy...
Right, when it evolves into hanging out.
Yeah, and we talked and, you know, rode down together. I actually took him to Dugal. I had to get pictures of other people who I'm getting photos with from The Wire. So I had to fucking... Jerry Cantrell came into the photo place with me. He didn't know what I was getting. I didn't tell him, of course.
And see, that's different. Like, if I'm going to meet a celebrity and talk to them, chances are I'm going to ask you a question about, you know, your body of work or mention something about you. So I always think like, well, that person doesn't want to just talk about themselves. Like that's not really having
or
a conversation.
especially their work.
Yeah, you're just talking about you.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I didn't know much about Alice in Chains, so I didn't ask him a lot of questions. We talked more about creating and like the process and shit like that.
That's different. That's a real meaningful
Yeah, he was a fun guy to hang
Yeah.
out with. Like that I enjoyed.
Eric?
And I think over the years too, from being at K-Rock and being here, we've all seen people, if we went to get a photo or something signed, we've seen other people try to do, hey, remember last time you were here?
Right.
And it's embarrassing to watch these other people do it. So we kind of learned early on, maybe, being around Jim too, we learned early on that you don't do that because it just comes off awkward and everyone watching it is embarrassed for you.
And they don't remember. They almost never do. And so it's like, what am I going to delude myself into thinking we're having a moment? I'm a time killer for them. Unless they're watching me perform, if they know I'm a comic and we talk, that's different because then I think they really want to talk to me.
I just always, I like getting celebrity pictures, but I never feel like as much of a fucking asshole as I do when I'm standing there waiting to get a picture taken.
Oh, really? See, that doesn't bother me at all.
Like when I'm waiting with other people who are also going to get a picture, or when I'm waiting for, him to finish a conversation he's having with somebody so I can just stand next to him to take a picture. That's my most feeling like an asshole moment.
It is kind of embarrassing, but for me, it's like I have the extra thing where I can use it in the act, and sometimes it has to happen naturally. Like I don't do things to make it more interesting. 90% of them are not worth talking about on stage.
Yeah.
But De Niro turning me down, or Diana Ross turning me down, or me and 50 Cent getting the picture, or like a lot of them become bits naturally. And those to me is like, well, I can possibly use it someday in work.
Or when Chip gets to meet celebrities.
Yeah, or it does a fucking. Or
That
I was
always
talking
helps.
to Gloria Estefan and fucking they snapped the picture, so it's Gloria and Chip.
You deserve it.
It's a fucking terrible photo.
Rick in St. Louis, you're on Opie and Anthony minus. Well, Opie and Anthony.
Hey, good morning, faggots. How are you?
Hi, good.
Very well,
good,
thanks.
I like you guys being in radio and entertainment, man. Over the years, I've met hundreds of celebrities, and the coolest one that I met was Denzel Washington. And I interviewed him before a football game. After the game, I held the door open for him. I said, "Thanks, Mr. Washington. Great to meet you." And he said, "Great to meet you, Mr. White." And he remembered my name. Cool. And I did end up meeting him about a year and a half later, and he did remember me.
He did or
Everybody
didn't?
else, oh, he did. He certainly did.
Yeah, you'll get some people that do. Like, some people, it's amazing when they do.
It's amazing that Denzel did.
Well, it was like literally right after he.
But he said a year later he still did.
I met him a year later.
Unless he was
Kid
lying.
played for our football team.
Yeah, he is an Oscar-winning actor, dude. He might have been faking.
Exactly, he was lying to you.
But you don't know. The worst is when you think they're going to remember you and they don't. Like, I'm surprised sometimes when some people don't remember me. Like, yeah, we had a really good interview with this guy. That I'm surprised at.
Was that the Sugar Ray thing?
Sugar Ray, I was surprised at because we had a really good. And he sits an inch from me. And
Yeah.
I'm talking and I'm engaging him.
Making direct eye contact.
Yeah. Sir?
Did you just make a farting sound before he hung up?
Well, sorry, sir. What else did you want us to talk to you about?
Yeah, really.
Fucking Hurricane or X?
I don't have your name disappeared from the phone screen, but you're on the air. Austin?
Dustin in Texas.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, Jim, maybe you didn't even realize it, but you Sugar Ray Leonard me in Austin.
Oh, well, it probably wasn't intentional, dude. But I wasn't.
No. Hold on. This is my big moment.
Okay. Fair enough.
Let me wrap it up quickly, and I'll hang up. You're a big deal to me. You really are, and
thank you.
Bought my tickets, and blah 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 blah. Anyway, just like Sam, I felt like a big old asshole standing in line there. And Kenny's hollering at me to take the plastic off the DVD I bought and all the bullshit. And then I went to shake hands with him, and he said, "Did you get my picture?" I don't know why you said that, and I fucking, I was just wanting to take a picture real quick, and you said, "Did you get my picture?" And then I started going back and forth about, Alex Jones and bullshit, and then my wife goes, "Oh, he recognized you." And I said, "No, he did the old fake fucking, I remember you shit." And
No, wait, why would I ask you? Did you? I don't know what you mean. You said, "Did I get your picture?"
I'm nervous. Let me start. The first time you interviewed Alex Jones, and I tweeted you an open ant in the middle of the night because I got upset about, the first Alex Jones interview. And
I wonder if did I remember you?
no.
Oh, okay.
No. What's the matter, Rupert?
I said,
Sir? Where'd he go?
He quit. He tapped out.
I'm trying to figure out what he's talking about.
I don't know. I have no clue.
But he just panicked and hung up.
It sounded like maybe,
my picture.
maybe he took a picture. He got a picture with you, and you asked him if he got it. I don't know, but it was very strange. I guess we'll go to our pal Marcos in Yonkers. Marcos.
Hey, what's going on, Sam? Hi, Jimmy.
Hey.
Hey, I was going to say the worst celebrity meeting I've ever had was Brian Dennehy. That guy was an asshole. I was working in the city doing car service, and I seen him crossing the street, and I was like, hey, you're Brian Dennehy. And he looked at me with his face like, argh. He just walked away.
What was he?
He wasn't nice to me when I met him either.
Is he a pirate?
I don't know. It was just like this mean, get away from me look. And
How long ago was that, Marcos?
oh, this must have been like maybe 6 years ago.
Why?
Well, I was just, I mean, if Brian Dennehy is being recognized on the street, he should probably be pretty appreciative.
Yeah. He was kind of
Thanks,
talking to me
Marcos.
when I met him.
You said Martin Sheen was the best.
He was the best celebrity I've ever met. The nicest guy. Very genuine. You could always feel that when someone's being genuine with you, and
Yeah.
he was being very pleasant. And Emilio was very nice as well.
What do you think of the celebrities showing up to the Wall Street thing?
Depends on how they feel. I mean, just because they're a celebrity doesn't mean that they shouldn't.
Yeah.
I guess they give it a certain amount of weight because they get coverage, so people listen to them, and it does help an event. And Susan Sarandon shows up at stuff like this, and
She's
Russell
political.
Simmons I wouldn't be surprised at.
You're in support of the Wall Street protesters,
I am,
right?
yeah, I am. Even though I agree with Ant's assessment of a lot of them, I don't disagree with what he's saying. I hate those guys who are making that much money off the bailouts. Like those guys, there's a mentality there. They're worse than guys putting guns in people's faces. These fucking, not the average stockbroker, a guy who's making a living and is trying to deal with you fair, but these twats that know they're taking government money and are still going to fucking give $80 million to. It's just they should be executed.
It seems though the protesters though, because they don't have enough, maybe because they need central leadership or they don't have organization, that there's no goal. Like,
right, probably right.
A lot of them, it seems like they want complete reformation of the economic system, and that's completely unrealistic. That's never going to happen. Like, as much attention as the protests are getting now, because they're all over the place, you would think that they would kind of try to figure out a realistic goal.
No, that's not going to happen.
They could sit down and talk,
because they're doing what they've always done. They're mad, and they're going to tell you that they're mad, but they're not going to do anything about it.
And there's no
Which is
solution.
why they're in the situations that they're all in.
Because you'd think with as much attention as this is getting, I'm sure if there was a leader, Obama would probably talk to the leader and figure out what's going on and what they're after. And if they're after something realistic, maybe they could actually make it happen.
I saw a guy with a sign that said, "I'm $100,000 in debt from student loans. I have my house. I can't afford my house. This and that." And this is the guy that's at the Wall Street protest complaining that all these things have happened to him. Now, if you've just managed your life a little more productively and a little more responsibly, you wouldn't be in that situation.
What about the people that do it right and still get fucked? Like all the guys that got ripped off by Bernie Madoff or the fucking all these other people that are just making this kind of money, or we the taxpayers who are doing things right.
There should be outrage about that. But
Yeah.
I don't think that the outrage at the Wall Street, I don't think it's coming through clearly.
Maybe it's
and that's the
unfocused,
problem.
but I think that's the basic. I keep forgetting the company's name. Solyndra was the final straw. And this was an
solar
Obama
company?
back thing, yeah. But I think that was the final straw of seeing this shit get done, especially after it happened. The government is giving these companies money, and these fucking pieces of shit are doing what they're doing with it. What are the only other? I agree that people should be doing more action, but the action I would love to see them committing is I would love to see them committing horrible acts against certain people.
Like what?
Whatever it is that mob mentality dictates to somebody who stole fucking $100 million while the economy is like this.
Yeah,
whatever mob mentality would dictate, you should do to some fucking vulture who has no caring about anybody else but himself.
Because they're costing the entire country money.
And they know what they're doing, and they have enough. I have nothing against people that make $1 billion. Like Steve Jobs earned his money. He really did. I have no qualm with the guy making that kind of money, or Bill Gates money. But when you're in a company and you're taking that kind of money from the government because your company's failing, and you've probably fucking failed as an administrator, and then you're still taking $80 million, I think that Roseanne was right, and you should be beheaded.
Yeah.
In a legal system. I think the system should put you on trial and fucking behead you.
But I just wish that they could actually use the momentum that they have to get something done and to figure out, okay, this actually, because I feel like it worked. Like, I feel like this protest thing worked because they've got a ton of attention. They have the world looking at them, you know, to a certain extent. And now it's spreading out into Boston, and it's spreading out all over the place. Now I feel like people should say, okay, enough with the sort of, this means different things to everybody. We might actually be able to accomplish something here if we could just all get to a common ground and make it something realistic, not, you know, anarchy. Like, that's never going to happen.
But they're not going to. There's not going to be enough people to agree on one focus.
That's
what's going to.
Then half the protesters start protesting the other protesters.
Yeah, because they're never going to be able to agree.
Yeah,
there's just too many polarizations of views going on.
Yeah, they are a lot of unfocused shit. I think it's just unfocused anger.
Yeah.
And the people on Wall Street, I have no problem with them taking the brunt of this. Because again, they were fucking giving out loans that they knew aren't going to be good and betting against them. They're just fucking dirtbags.
And that's what it is, the anger. Like, it's this protest is a great visualization of the anger that people feel, but it's not getting anything done. Like, we're at the point now where, okay, now we can get something done, or just kind of fizzle out and nothing happens.
And if it's like, I agree, like Ant will say things like people got to do their homework and learn like about, and he's right. You really do have to do that. You have to know what you're doing financially. But when you're dealing in a financial world, they are always going to know more than you do.
Yeah.
I'm never going to know more than a fucking guy that works for Bank of America.
And it's not crazy to believe the guy who works at your bank when either he's lying to you or his boss is lying to him, or people are being lied to and having their money taken, and it's gone now.
It's like we can all get ripped off by a used car dealer. Even if you do your homework and know kind of what you're doing, unless you've done that for a living, you're not going to know more than the
you're
guy
not an
working
expert.
there.
At the end of the day, that guy, the guy's not in the business to try to get you in a great car. He's trying to make money.
Right.
So and so, you know, I understand. Like, I'm not going to sit here and get all upset that the guy who sold me the car made some money on it, because that's what he has to do to survive.
It's one thing if he made money off you.
Is fine.
It's another thing if he destroyed your life.
Sure. And hey, look, I hear you. And I used to be a loan officer, so I know all about shady mortgages and stuff. Believe me.
Yeah.
But it's at the end of the day, I want to make my money. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't be agreeing to a mortgage loan that's 80% of your, you know, of your monthly income. But I mean, just because that you can get it at 80% doesn't mean that you should say okay.
But what's more repulsive? Somebody living beyond their means and like kind of wanting to buy into that dream of having a house and a nice situation, or some fucking cocksucker who knows better and who knows what's going to happen and is like a parasite making money off that fucking
but
mentality.
You know what? If you don't have any debt and you could afford your mortgage payments, that's not going to happen. It's the person who already has $50,000 in credit card debt. They want to roll that into their mortgage that they already, you know, have some shitty percentage on. They have shitty credit. They're paying 7%. I mean, these are the people that get fucked. But you know what? It's kind of like, well, you know, you had all the information that was available to me was available to you. So whose fucking fault is it?
But when somebody comes in,
then everyone who gets ripped off should feel that way. Anyone who gets ripped off should say, all the information that was available to me. It's almost like that's what the problem is. It's like if you get fucked, you kind of deserved it. And I make a good amount of money, but I don't lie to people for it. And I'm not a piece of shit for it.
Maybe if you're buying like a piece of art or something, but like, you know, for a mortgage, that's one of like the biggest decisions that you're ever going to make. And I'm not going to start looking, I'm not going to just willy-nilly take a $500,000 chunk of credit with just anybody who says anything to me. I'm going to go and I'm going to look and I'm going to make sure that I could afford this. I'm going to do all the math. I'm not going to have my loan officer do my math. And that's what a lot of these people do because they're just fucking lazy. They go, well, can I afford this? And then the other guy goes, well, let's see. You have this, you have this. But the point is that guy, that loan officer, he wants to make his money. So he's going to try to make as much of it as possible. But you still have the opportunity to do your own math, figure out for yourself what I can afford, what I can't afford, where's the best deal for me. But most people just want someone else to do their work for them.
But if that guy is going to do whatever's necessary to make money off those people, regardless of being honest or fair, then he's a scumbag. Okay, it's about making money, but he's a scumbag because he's doing something that he knows is. It's like me taking a deposit for a gig. But I know I'm not going to do.
But you know what, though? You want to talk about bankers, and you want to look at a banker and say, well, who are these people that are giving them mortgages, right? And everybody has this image of like some Gordon Gekko guy with cufflinks and shit, and he's got his latte. But in the real world, it's just some kid who's working on draw versus commission, and he just wants to buy a fucking pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, but it filters down. If there was a high penalty for that, if the bank wasn't encouraging it, it wouldn't. And a lot of people blame the government because they were guaranteeing the loans. But if the bank, if it wasn't encouraged by the bank to do it, or if he knew he couldn't do it, he wouldn't.
And when a stupid person walks in, and there are lots of stupid people that need loans, because primarily stupid people. You know what I mean? Because there's so many stupid people, but there's a certain responsibility that an intelligent person has to say, this is a capitalistic society. I can get a couple more dollars off this guy, and there's nothing wrong with that. But to take him for all he's worth when you know he's not going to be able to pay this off, and to kind of, because you can convince him to do that, is, like you said, a scumbag move.
I mean, look, I sold a few mortgages in my day, and there was definitely a few of them where it's just like, if it was me, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? But, people, they get so excited about interest rates, and it's like, you just went from having your house half paid off to putting yourself back in debt for another 30 years. Now, you're out of credit card debt, but that's because you added it into your mortgage. Hey, if that makes sense to you, whatever. But I'm not going to talk you out of it if I'm making $3,000 on it. That's all I'm saying.
But the company, like, as an employee, do you look at the company, like, if it's not just this company, it's any company you work for. If they haven't given you a raise in 3 years, you feel rage about that. And you should. But you don't look at it like, hey, you know what? This company can do that, so fuck me, they're doing it. It's like that's the same mentality. It's that same make money at any cost. And nobody who didn't get a raise looks at it and goes, the boss is being fair. Like, the boss should give me the minimal amount possible because it's all about making a bigger profit. You comprehend that, you know it, but it still bothers you, it still hurts you, it still makes you angry, and you still think it's unfair. And you're right.
But as a guy who's selling the customer the mortgage, I don't have any vested interest in making them happy after the sale.
Well, then these two people complaining about the system and the mentality of capitalism are not 100%. If that's what we are as a fucking, like, as much money as America gives to people who are in earthquakes and floods, and as much compassion as we show, if we're that sickening and blood hungry, where we don't give a fuck, and I'm not saying you should think for other people, but if I guess we bought a house and my father got put out of work, so I kind of know what that's like to be on food stamps and shit, and that wasn't a vulture mentality, that just happened.
And that's the difference between getting a few extra points because they're a stupid person and knowing full well that you just fucked up the rest of this person's life for the purpose of your commission.
Is the loan officer a vulture, or is the loan officer a survivalist? Because look, when I don't know if you ever
worked
on
living in a cutthroat, like, you don't need to put him out of business.
Have you ever worked on draw versus commission?
No.
Do you know what it's like to go 3-4 weeks without a paycheck unless you sell something?
Well, and that's a systematic problem. I mean, that's why we wouldn't blame.
I'm not going to sit there and say, this guy really can't afford this mortgage. I probably shouldn't sell it to him. Or am I thinking, gee, I need to figure out how I'm paying my fucking rent in a week.
But that's why the problem is not with loan officers.
Right,
it's like with the entire system from the top to the bottom.
That's why I'm not saying that the stockbrokers themselves, the day-to-day guys, and you could classify the loan officers as that too. I understand those guys are trying to hustle and make a living, but they're doing what the bank encourages. Like, there are certain people that won't get a loan because they can't, because they know they can't do it, because the bank will not approve it. Those loan officers can't just approve things that the bank is going to come down and go, what the fuck are you doing? The bank is okaying it, and they know it.
Well, the bank also puts in, there's got to be a line drawn somewhere. So it's just like, all right, your loan to value should be up to this amount. So people say, oh, well, I could go up to that amount. It's like, no. You really shouldn't go up to that amount. You should probably stay at about like 40, 50%. Just because you can go to 80% doesn't mean that you could. Just because you get a credit card with a $10,000 spending limit just doesn't say, hey, I could buy something for $9,000. No. But they do. And that's not the bank's fault per se. Like, I understand that the bank is definitely to blame. I'm not going to say that, hey, I'm defending the banks. They're not doing anything wrong. It's everyone's doing everything wrong. But we should, as much blame as we're placing on the banks, we need to be placing on ourselves and our own decision decision-making process, and we need to say, hey, I can't afford this, so instead of just saying, well, let's see what happens, I'll just sign some papers and then we'll see what happens down the line, make the responsible decision, take a look at what's in front of you and say, fuck it, you know what, I can't afford this, I'm not going to sign this.
But like, look at the bank, they give a 0.5% interest, and they take, after taking our money in a bailout, these motherfuckers. When's the last time? All they want, you think they're not going to foreclose on people's houses? These fucking cunts. They take 0.5% interest they pay, and they demand 6%. They're completely unfair. That's why they're so hated. Banks used to be a place that you trusted, and they're fucking hated. And it's the guys at the top that are making the loan officer is not making the decision or signing the paperwork to take the bailout money and then fucking filter 100 million of it to some other cocksucker that didn't do his job. But that's not the average loan
That's
officer.
the majority of people. That's the car salesman. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the guy who's selling you that car. He's the so the banks never deal with you on a one-on-one really level like that. I mean, I'm sure some banks do. The place that I worked for didn't work like that. So if you wanted a mortgage with the place I was working at, you were just dealing with me, and I was going to make sure that I not fucked you, but I needed to make sure that I got paid.
But you were
because
doing
I needed to make money too, just like everyone else.
But you were
does.
doing things in the framework of what you were allowed to do.
That's correct.
Yeah. And what you're allowed to do is dictated by the bank itself and by the people who are higher up. And that's why those words were my fucking annoyance.
And you know what though? And you don't have to take a 95% loan to value either.
Absolutely.
You don't have to do that.
Absolutely.
And I can't tell you how many people did. I can't tell you how many people took 100%. I can't tell you how many people would take 105%. They would take 100% of value and then some.
Why would the bank let them do that?
You're right. Why did they let them? But is it why did the bank let them? Or why the fuck did they?
Well, to that, I mean, we talk about on this show all the time, and Opie's brought it up recently about, what do you learn in school? And
it's garbage what you learn in school.
Yeah, and you come out of school and you're never taught real life economics.
I don't understand why Wall Street and the stock market isn't taught in high school. I have no idea why it's not taught.
And even taking in high school, you should learn how to take out a mortgage and how loans work and all this stuff. Of course, everybody should be taught this.
Everyone out there, if you don't have any prepayment penalties on your mortgage, you should be paying at least an extra payment a year.
But do you know
into your mortgage? Because just by doing that cuts down your mortgage payments by 8 years.
Do you know how many
30 into
how many people right now that sentence you just said is a foreign language? They don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
And I'm a retard. So if you guys don't know this out there and you have homes and mortgages, I most likely will never be a homeowner. It's a sad thing in this country, but I will probably 90% sure will never be a homeowner. So if you're going to actually have a home, you should fucking do the research. I mean, look, I only know this shit because it was my bread and butter for a few months.
Right.
But you know what? If I was going to buy a house, holy shit, would I be doing my research?
I bought the condo, and because of Vinny, who taught me about amortization.
Sure.
I learned about that from Vinny Brand. And I paid it off because I was able to, and I hated the banks so much. I resented giving them interest. But to me, there's just a mentality. And Carlin had an amazing bit about how much repulsive businessmen were. Because you're preying on something. Like if you give somebody a loan and they say up to 95%, whatever you just called it, they think that the bank is doing that. No one is thinking like, oh, the bank doesn't give a fuck if I can pay this or not.
Right.
You're thinking that the bank is only going to do the responsible thing. And maybe that's naive.
That is naive.
But we are raised to trust that. It's like when a cop pulls you over, you're not trained to think like this could be an imposter who's going to rape my wife at gunpoint because this is really a cop.
They're the expert.
Siren. They're the expert. And there's a certain amount of good faith in business that you should have, and they don't need to do that.
I think a lot of people go into banks not realizing that the business model, like you said, Danny, isn't that far off from a used car salesman.
Oh no, it's not.
Right, and people don't realize it
because we're taught to respect banks.
Right,
and the penalty for robbing a bank is 25 years if you walk in with a gun. I mean, you can murder somebody and get out a lot sooner than that. So banks are put in this this place of worship in this country, and you go on a certain amount of faith. And anyway, if we feel that like, hey, look, let the buyer beware, then in our jobs, if the company fucks us, then hey, they're right to do it.
The buyer does have to beware. You do. I mean, you can't just sign the biggest decision of your life without being cautious.
I agree.
A little bit.
That's
Put it
true,
this way.
too.
I had a note out on a motorcycle, right? And the interest was ridiculous. But I was paying it because, you know what, I was building my credit, and that's how I looked at it. I said, hey, here's an installment loan. It looks good on my credit report, so I'll just pay it. But it got to the point where I was just like, I don't need to pay this anymore. So I called the bank, and I said, listen, I'll still give you interest. I just won't give you as much interest. And they said no, they wouldn't cut my rate down. So I just said fuck you, and I paid it off. And that's the way that people need to be dealing with banks and things, not getting themselves so fucked into a situation that you can't get out of it.
And do they ever just call you and lower the interest rate when the times are good? They're shit.
Yes.
They're fucking shit. And I don't mind a guy making money. I'm not saying the banks shouldn't make money. Of course they should.
John in Boston, you're on the show.
Yeah, I have to agree with Danny, believe it or not. I typically don't. I was a bill collector for years, and the responsibility really needs to land on the consumer. I mean, there are deals that are given, and the consumer doesn't, responsible consumers take in consideration their spending habits, where, unresponsible, irresponsible consumers don't. And then they get into deals that they can't afford in the future, and they blame it on the banks, they blame it on the financial institutions, but the bottom line is they put their pen to paper and they signed it.
But dude, I in theory you're right. And if the behavior of these people was pretty fair, and there was just a lot of people who couldn't pay their loans because they lived beyond their means, I would go, you know what, you guys are 100% right. But when you look at the way they behave, like Bernie Madoff stole $1 billion from Holocaust charities, and he's in a fucking minimum security jail. These guys, these brokers were betting against the fucking loans they were giving. Like, that's the mentality I'm talking about. This is not just about, hey, a bunch of middle-class people or lower-class people financially tried to be upper class and got fucked, because there is that scumbag vulture mentality in the financial industry. It's not that like they're being fair and everybody else is a bunch of dummies who lives beyond their means. But you're right, the consumers should know what they're doing. I'm not saying that they're without responsibility.
I think it goes hand in hand, honestly. I mean, you can't make a bad decision without someone else trying to take advantage of your bad decision, I guess. So,
yeah.
So, it's like, if people were smarter about their investments, Bernie Madoff wouldn't have had any money to steal. So,
it'd be nice if we just lived in a utopia where everybody knew what was going on and none of the bankers wanted to take advantage of anyone.
There's always going to be a sucker, and there's always going to be someone to take advantage of that.
yes.
So there's always going to be carnies and rubes. There's always going to be carnies and rubes.
But people
always.
that got killed by Bernie Madoff couldn't have known, because there were people on the stock market exchange who suspected he had a Ponzi scheme going and they couldn't prove it, or they would get shut down. There's no way an investor could have known that.
Yeah.
Unless there's something so inside. But I'm an investor, dude. I don't know that kind of shit. I'm not. That's like an investor, get up there and do stand up or come here and do radio. They can't do it.
Well, I can't say it's the same thing, but I had money in like full tilt poker. Like everything just went under and stuff. Now, I can't start screaming, oh, if I'm never going to get my... No, why? Because I knew what I was getting myself into in the first place. Is it a Ponzi scheme? Yes, no, I don't know, but I'm not going to get all mad about it because I knew where my money was. My money was in an offshore gambling site.
You're probably mad at first.
No.
Even for a second, you didn't get pissed off.
I mean, look, what did I lose in there? Probably like $20. Who knows?
Okay.
But I'm saying, even if I had like a couple of grand in there, I mean, look at what you're dealing with.
But you know that going in, we don't look at the banks with the same level of revulsion we look at offshore poker people with. We should.
Yeah, which maybe we should.
And maybe that's what the people on Wall Street are doing. Maybe they can't focus their anger exactly on something, but they know that something is despicable. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
And I normally hate that mentality. But after having dealt with Bank of America and seeing the incompetence and how they don't give a fuck about you as a customer, they really don't.
No one does. It's very difficult to run into a company that actually treats you nicely. I expect to be treated like a piece of shit.
You know who's treated me nicely? Honestly, as a Apple and Mac are good to customers. Like, their customer service is pretty good. And when I've gone into the Mac store, yeah, there's times we have to go to the Genius Bar, but they are all pretty informed, and it all filters from downhill. They don't treat you like shit when you're in there. They really don't. They come over, they're courteous. You do feel like, and if you go back with a problem, they take good care of it.
As Apple's popularity has been going up, and they've had to bring more staff into all the stores, I'm finding a lot more, maybe not here in the city, but like outside the city, a lot more store employees that aren't nearly as informed as they used to be.
Yeah, I feel like, I've only had limited experience with Apple customer service, but I find that it could be incredibly hit and miss. You could find a guy who's great and he takes care of you like a motherfucker, and then there's the guy that just sucks. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Kevin, Jersey.
Hey, what's up, guys? I just want to really disagree with Danny and the fact that he's lining up on the side of, you got mortgage brokers that were unscrupulous like him. You got real estate brokers that are fucking...
No, I wasn't unscrupulous.
Yeah, dude, you are.
How do you...
You knew people couldn't afford these loans, and you were pushing them.
I wasn't pushing them. No. There's a big difference between...
You just said it. I heard you. I'm sitting in my fucking car now, and I heard you say that.
Kev.
But like... All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
When I present you with a loan that's a 95% loan to value, I don't have to, that's not me. If you agree to that, I didn't sell it to you. That means I am financing 95% of my fucking life.
Yeah,
95% of my monthly paycheck is going to go to this. Does that sound like a great deal? Do I have to sell that to you? I mean, look, if you're going to sign that, you're going to sign it. Why should I have to talk you out of something? I'm going to talk you out of my commission on that? Why should I do that? I need to get paid just like everybody else does, but that doesn't mean that I'm pushing it on you.
Yeah, you need to get paid by screwing people over. You rather be on the side of the people with all of the freaking bankers, all of the mortgage
No, that's not
brokers,
true.
all of the real estate agents, instead of a person,
No.
a human being that wanted to get a home for himself and his family.
And he couldn't afford it, but he did so anyway.
Yeah, maybe they couldn't afford it, but like nobody can afford shit. Look at our government; we're in fucking debt all the time. Like they can't afford their shit.
So what? So if the government jumped off the Brooklyn Bridge, you would do it too?
But you know what? That's not a bad point, though. The whole country lives beyond our means. The whole country does.
Exactly. That's my point. Like anybody's going to go.
So you should be able to do it too on a personal level.
And then you want to be the person that's going to help them to push them over that edge to go over.
No, I'm not going to be the person to look. If you
think that's right, that's all I want to know.
if you want to spend beyond, if you want to go ahead and spend 95% of your monthly income on a mortgage, that's your decision. I have nothing to do with that. Okay? If you can't afford a house in this country, well then I guess you're renting, buddy. I mean, I'm going to be renting for the rest of my life. I cannot afford a house. You're not going to find me on the phone with a loan officer talking about a 100% loan to value deal. It's not going to happen because I know I can't afford it. What I'm saying is that you're coming into a bank, you're saying, give me this loan I can't afford, and I go, okay. And then you want to blame me because I didn't talk you out of it. That's not what happens.
But it's also, there is a mentality when you're praying, when I shouldn't even say praying, when you know, wanting a home is different than going from a Ford to a Lamborghini. Wanting a home is it's like you're taught it's the American dream. To me, it's almost like
you are taught.
If I'm out with a chick and I know she'll fuck me, but she doesn't really want to. She wants love, and I tell her I love her just to fuck her. Mm-hmm. To me, I really won't do that. I'm a piece of shit, but I won't say I love you and lie on that emotional level, because to me that's a vulture move. Yeah, she's dumb for fucking me. Yeah, she's dumb for believing it. But there's something in me that is so bothered by having to lie like that,
So dangling that house in front of somebody who can't afford it, but
just don't give them the loan.
Right.
Like, don't give them the loan. You assume as a consumer that when the bank gives you the loan, they wouldn't do something wrong. And it's a stupid assumption. Just like that girl wants to believe that if I say I love you, I really do, and she's not being a fucking anonymous whore by giving me a pussy. But I won't do it. It feels vulturish.
The person wants the loan, and I want to get paid. If I got a salary, maybe I'd have some more morals and ethics. But you know what? I'm not getting paid unless you get a loan. So get a fucking loan.
Well, and that's the problem. You need
I'm a scumbag. I'm a scumbag because I want to get a paycheck too. Everybody wants to get paid.
Shit rolls downhill, my friend. Rory in Michigan. Rory.
Hello?
No, Rory. Then instead we'll go to Joe in Brooklyn.
Hey guys, it's Joel actually. I just want to say good morning.
Hello.
Danny, dude, for the most part I like you, so it's going to sound like I'm attacking you a little bit. Don't take it to heart. But
He's very sensitive, Joel.
I know he's not, guys, I know. But look, I think really one of the big fundamental problems here is that Wall Street, and not necessarily Wall Street, but the banks mostly, have the smartest people in the nation, and they recruit them constantly. And they're basically looking at ways to dance around, or as close as they can, to just fucking someone. And, I hate to defend the roofs and stuff, but when your goal in life is really just to fuck, people that are a little less intelligent as much as you possibly can.
No, but this guy's right.
I just feel like there's something really wrong about that. And Danny, dude, you're right. You got to fucking be informed.
But do you understand? Do you realize that what you're saying is opportunism is what built this country? Taking advantage of someone who is stupider than you is called business.
Then we can't be mad when the company does it to us. That's the point I'm making. If we're going to live by that value system, fair enough. But then, don't get mad if this company goes, you know what? I'm not going to give anybody a raise. Matter of fact, we're cutting you 30%. It's we all know how that feels. I don't like it.
If you're willing to abide by that, you better make sure you're the smartest person.
And the feeling of being fucked. When I'm fucked, I never feel like, hey, you know what? I've fucked other people. I get angry and I want to strangle who's fucking me. And there's always the person doing the fucking always justifies it to themselves. Nobody thinks I'm a vulture and I'm a piece of shit who's making $80 million off the backs of people who I probably went to high school with. Nobody realizes they're being a vulture. We all self-justify. I don't steal material because it's shitty. You know what I mean? I could, but there's something inside of me that would feel like I needed a fucking shower if I did that. There's no value in that.
And I agree, but at the same time, there needs to be a level of responsibility on the consumer level. Like you can't just say, "Oh, the bank did it." Well, it's like, no, you did it too, okay? Because the bank didn't come to you and force your hand on a piece of paper. Like the numbers were all in front of you; they were all there, okay? But buying a house is not a guaranteed investment. It is not backed by the FDIC. It is a risk. You might as well take $500,000 and go to fucking Mohegan Sun. It's the same thing. So just because you lost, you can't start complaining that the banks fucked you. You need to be in control of your situation. You need to rationally decide what is financially viable for you. And if you can't make that decision and you're going to let a bank do that for you, then you deserve whatever you get.
That's the way we should look at our jobs. If we're not making the money we want to make,
yeah, absolutely. Well, then get a better fucking job.
We should be happy with that. No, but I don't mean just get a better job. I mean, if we're not making the money we want to make and we know the company's being unfair, we should accept that unfairness and not only accept it, but understand it and take it in stride and not be bitter about it and not be angry about it and not feel fucked over by it. But we don't, and I say we because I mean me too. We don't react that way. We understand human nature.
But I think that comparing the two is kind of different. I mean, a guy going to a bank for a loan and an employee at a company, I think, I don't.
But the company knows that they don't have to give you a raise. You're gonna stay. You're gonna keep working. So why would they give you a raise? That's money out of their pocket.
Right. It's the mentality is the same though. Even though it's different, the mentality is the people who have a tremendous amount of it are being unscrupulous or not being fair. I don't mean they shouldn't want to make a huge profit because they have stockholders to answer to, but there's a level of fairness that, and you know what, the consumers are guilty too because we're all greedy pigs because lawyers don't put a gun to your head and make you sue. You go to a lawyer and go, I want to sue because I slipped. It is really all of us. But that guy was right too. They do recruit the smartest fucking people. And, I think when they're preying on what people have, like, as the American dream, it's just something that bothers me about that. It always has.
Richie, New York.
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking me. I actually work for one of these companies that you guys tend to badmouth, and I'm actually a trained investment analyst. And, not that my personal opinion matters, but I tend to side with Danny because all information is free. I mean, Jimmy, you can find trannies no problem on Google, right? So anybody who wants to learn about how to borrow money or how to analyze an investment or what a house should be worth compared to rent can spend their time figuring that out. Instead, they're watching the Kardashians.
Okay,
absolutely.
Great.
They know everything about the 1962 Mets, but they don't know anything about the $500.
Absolutely, that's
excellent
a great point.
And then I'll say this, buddy, and I'll let you finish.
I have a solution to all this, actually, that will work, that will be market-based. And here's how you can tell if your lawmakers are for the people or against the people. It's really simple. Economic cycles are typically about 7 years long, right? So if there's fraud or whatever going on in a bank, it will be exposed within 5, 6, 7 years. So what you can do is, like you're saying, all these scumbags, they make all this, the executives make all this compensation off 2005 business, 2006 business, which turns out to be fake. You have what's called a clawback. If you want to be a publicly traded company in the United States, meaning you want to list your stock on the exchange or borrow money in the debt markets, and you're a bank, a financial company, insurance company, whatever, your executives should have a 10-year clawback. That means right now, any business that was done in 2002 that was turned out to be bogus and the company had to restate earnings, those executives should have to give all the money back. The SEC would have the power to get this law through. You would see in Congress who would vote for that. Now, I'm personally, I fall on the side of personal responsibility, like I said, but at the same time, if you really want to stop predatory stuff, you just hit them where it hurts and make it unprofitable.
Okay, but let me ask you a question. All right, dude, hold on. All information's available. Fair enough. So let's stack the deck evenly. If you're going to behave that way, and I mean the collective you, not you personally, about going, hey, we know what we're doing, we're dancing by the line, then how about you face what would happen if you fucking walked up to somebody in the street and stole from them? Or if you sold...
I agree.
Hold on.
Kill these guys. I agree with you.
Okay, then the penalty should be even then. But they don't want that. I agree. They don't want that. They don't want the penalty to be even. They want to be able to keep fucking people and keep fucking preying on that shit, and not one person, myself included, looks at my own being fucked the same way. We are all indignant when we're fucked. We're all out. Sir, I'm talking with you. I'm going to stop. Every time I pause to take a breath, you don't have to jump in. I know you're here.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jimmy.
That's right.
I'm just so excited because I feel like I do have a good answer here, which is...
I don't disagree with you.
10 years. Like, in other words, if they put on all this housing market business that turned out to be fake in 2005, 2006, 2007, and they get millions... That business has to settle for 10 years. before they can act. Like, in other words, if the company goes back and says, oh, that was fake and we're stating earnings, they have to give all that compensation back. Then none of these guys would run businesses in the short term. Also, make the banks eat their own cooking. Like, don't let them sell out all the mortgages they originate. If they have to actually own that bad loan, their underwriting will be better. I mean, there's a bunch of things that could be put into place.
Okay.
If the right people would suggest it and get in front of Congress.
Absolutely.
But you will see, if this gets proposed, you will see which congressmen and which senators are really in the pocket, because I think if a guy can make $80 million running a bank and that bank is profitable and it's profitable for 10 years and doesn't blow up the American economy by lending money to idiots, then so be it. But let's have a provision in there where they can't raise the money to do that in the first place unless they agree to, look, 10 years. You know, we'll pay you enough to live.
Okay.
Whatever, $500,000, $1 million a year. But after that, like, if you want to make millions and millions of dollars, it's subject to a clawback that if that business from that year that you get paid from ever turns out to be bad,
right, you have to give back. Fair.
It's not a bad idea.
No, it's not.
I think 10 years is plenty, considering the economic cycles are, 5-7 years?
All right. Thank you very much. That's actually a really good point. But basically it is put something in system to prevent them from being scumbags.
Yeah.
And the point that I make is it just bothers me that we have to do that. And I know that is business and all's fair, but we have to be consistent and look at it the same way. Yeah. It's like if I'm stealing jokes and then I'm killing somebody else for stealing jokes, well, I got no fucking business either stealing them or killing someone else for doing it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we all get fucked and we all get angry when we get fucked.
Well,
I hate being fucked.
We should take a break.
Yeah, I might leave. It's already 9:20 and I got to catch a flight. This whole flight thing's been a disaster today.
You might or might not.
Yeah, I might leave. I probably will be gone when we come back.
Well, if Jim's gone, then maybe I'll just do the after show until 10, and then play Word Stuff until Ron and Fez.
It's up to you what you do.
Jim's...
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't care what you do. It's up to you.
You know, we keep leaving these listeners wanting more. These phones are nuts.
Well, you know what? That's a little strategy. Keep them wanting more.
Keep them wanting more.
Because then they're going to listen tomorrow. And you know what they're going to ask for? They're going to call in, and they're going to hear Opie and Anthony on the air.
Who are these?
And they're going to be...
What are they doing?
We want our morning jam.